What is going on, everybody? How are y'all doing today? We are the Brew Boys. I am the real Fat Tony. And Slev is still muted. He did what I did last time.
My stream can hear me. I didn't know you here.
Oh my goodness.
I'm Slev on Tony's end.
And we got FeyGameplay right here in the middle of us.
How's it going?
Good, it's good. Welcome.
So Slev right off the bat pulled the same thing I did last time, except my stream couldn't hear me last time.
My stream could hear me. You guys couldn't.
We're starting this off just great. Just 2 weeks in a row.
Just usually how we roll.
Our first
if you
two.
don't have technical difficulties, then are you even streamers? You know.
Exactly. You have to have some problems every once in a while.
I mean, you don't have to.
Well, I'm Slev, so I'm going to.
You don't have to, but I mean,
I can't help myself.
It's never a bad thing, I guess. All right, guys. So right now we're going to be talking to FeyGameplay. I shouted her out in my chat. We're going to be shouting her out periodically. She's a part of Avenger Friends fam. And what'd you say? You were at how many followers now?
I'm at an undisclosed amount. I think it was 659.
She's at 659.
Trying to reach
7.
She's trying to reach 7
followers.
Goddamn 100.
It was not by this though. I didn't do that to do this. I was telling them about the streamer goal for 24-hour stream in October.
Whatever.
What the heck?
Blah, 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 blah.
Right now, what we kind of need right now is a double shout out for Faye in both our streams.
I just did. I already did. I'm way ahead of you.
I feel like I signed a contract.
I did it myself, all right?
I told you.
I took the initiative, all right? You got to take the initiative, Slev. You can't have everybody do everything for you all the time, okay?
Well, our mods help us for a reason.
I mean, I love you still.
Well, that's mean.
Well, we're off to a great start. We'll see you guys later.
But all right, so let's just welcome in everyone in the chat. We have a lot of peeps in right now. I'm going to go name a few. We got Spud, we got Iron Man, we got Ghost, we got Skeeto, Trace, Christina, Hakeem, we got Sisu, we got Chef, we got them all. We got Zelafi. Who do you got in your chat?
Oh, I don't know. A ton of people. We got Peach.
Evan.
We got Jimmy. We got Carlos, Too Smooth. We got Hakeem. We got B23, Spud. Sinuvex, all the stupid bitches are here.
Rob Boss is here now.
Ronan, can't forget about Ronan. Ronan was here before we even fucking started. That's
true. He was like typing in our chats before. I'm like, wait, I'm setting shit up. Like, Cece's like dropping my can't read emote. Like, thanks, bud.
Yeah, he's dropping emotes before we even started the stream.
Little Chris is in the chat now from TwitchCon.
Oh, we got a TwitchConner.
Hey all from Irish Zombie and me. Ooh. What is up? Hi from us, Little Chris.
I hope TwitchCon is going super amazing.
Yes, we're all like jelly.
I hope it's not going amazing because I'm jealous.
I saw this GIF and it was there was like a fireworks show and it said that's TwitchCon outside and it was like an old man eating a bowl of soup and that's the people not at TwitchCon. Like there's a whole party going on outside, fireworks exploding, but it doesn't matter. We're here right now having fun.
Yeah, I would like some soup. I like soup. I love soup. Yeah, grilled cheese, and tomato soup or ramen.
You're going classier than ramen.
Okay. Okay. Well, I would assume that ramen would be classier than grilled cheese and tomato soup, but I mean,
I like the good old Campbell's chicken noodle soup.
Okay. Campbell's soup.
I will Trace.
Yes.
Heck yeah, Trace.
All right, so just like every other podcast we've had so far where we've been interviewing people, we're going to be taking you through the life of FeyGameplay, a.k.a. FeyBae. And she's going to actually explain to us how that name came to be, believe it or not. Because it's very used, and we're gonna find that out. So
I'm excited just to learn that part right there.
I'm actually
that's all you get.
That's all you get. Goodbye. The podcast. Yeah, podcast. She tells us.
Podcast over. Bye.
Bye. We learned what we needed to learn.
Yep.
And, have a good night.
That's all we needed, by the way.
So I guess we should start out with the first question, Tony. You want to ask the first question to start us off?
So I mean, we're gonna start off, at the beginning. We're going to start off at the beginning of...
The day you were born.
We're going to start the day you were born, where you just came out, and you were like, wah! Oh, my God. We're going to start there, okay?
I'm going to be a streamer.
Yeah, that was our first words.
Streamer! I'm going to stream!
This is my dream!
My hair is going to be purple, and I'm going to stream. Hair flip. Anyways, so we're gonna start at the beginning. What made you press that go live button the first time?
So, funnily enough, and I think I've mentioned this to a few people, but specifically, I never was a huge video gamer until about 2 years ago, which was about when I decided to start digging into streaming in general. And I was dating a guy at the time who was really huge into video games, and I needed a way to interact with him that wasn't like, because he had a bunch of online friends that he would always go and he would video game with, and then I would be upset because I would be lonely and he would not pay attention to me. And so I got a computer for my birthday 2 years ago. My dad built it for me, and then so that was the way that we would kind of play games together. And then he actually introduced me to Twitch and was like, hey, like, you've got a beast of a computer, you should try streaming. And I was like, all right, well, let me look into what I need. And the computer had it all, the rig, and I kind of just set everything up. I tried to figure out what my name would be. And then I started with Payday 2. Actually, no, I started on PS4 on his account playing Lego Harry Potter. It was the very first game I ever streamed.
You stream it, because I've seen you stream that now. Like, so it goes even further back. And how long do you say you've been streaming now? Or did you
so it was on and off for about 2 years, but fully I've been in depth, like, working on trying to get bigger for about a year.
Okay. So he was the reason why you started.
Yeah, you started just with video games.
Not really fit in, but like do something that your boyfriend liked to do. So you actually you took the like, I guess, trying to make the relationship work route, where it's like, you know what, if he's gonna play video games, he's not gonna stop. I guess I'll play. Is that what, like?
Yeah, I played like The Sims and stuff, and all of my friends around me were gamers. Like, they have all played video games on console. A few of them did PC stuff. One person was like heavy into MMOs, and I had just never dove into that when I was a kid. Like, it was not something that I personally did.
Yeah.
And so every time I would hear them talk about it, it would sound so fascinating, and I would always want to get into it, but I never took that step. He kind of helped me take that step.
Gotcha. Okay.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So, so you get into this games. You started about 2 years ago. You really started getting serious about it, like emotes and whatnot, and all this good stuff about a year ago. You started off with Lego. What'd you say, Batman?
Lego Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. That's right. Lego Harry Potter. That's right.
I love all the Lego series.
It's really fun. It is. And it was interesting because I was streaming to my username on Twitch at the time, because it was linked to his account. So in chat, it would come up as his screen name instead of my Twitch, even though it would be my Twitch thing, my Twitch what am I trying to say? My Twitch page handle. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So how far into streaming did you decide, hey, no more of this name, I'm gonna change it?
So I kept FeyGameplay as my standard. And basically that was derived. If any of you guys saw my Spotlight chat or Spotlight streamers questionnaire that I filled out, Fey came from Feyara, which was a Dungeons and Dragons character that I created.
Beautiful name.
It is a very nice name. It was an elf druid that was half orc, which was interesting. It's an abomination, and it was so much fun to play. And that was my very first Dungeons and Dragons game, period, as well. So she really stuck with me, like the character in a whole, like growing her throughout the whole campaign. And I really I took on the alter ego of Feyara, but I didn't change to FeyGameplay until, about, maybe I would say a year, about the time that I started going really deep into it, because one of my partner friends was like, hey, it's really difficult to pronounce your name. We all call you Fey anyway. I was like, yeah, that's true. So I was like, you know what? I might as well just do it, because at least it wasn't so much of a change to where people wouldn't still know it was me. But it was like, I would go into chat and people would be like, FeyGameplay, and they'd be like, Oh,
Got a
I
nice
remember.
ring.
Yeah, it does. It
People are
kind of
gonna
flows a
remember
little
the
bit more.
name. Yeah, they're gonna remember the name, like FeyGameplay. It's just like gels.
Mm-hmm.
So what was his name again?
Yeah, Feyara.
Yeah, I'm already fucking it up. Like Feyara.
So when you were talking about
So
Dungeons and
struggling.
Dragons, like that was a
Yes.
complete. That's out of my realm of.
Well, you watch Stranger Things.
Yes,
Yeah,
obviously. Who doesn't
that's
watch?
where I got my very first taste of Dungeons and Dragons. I never played
me,
as well.
me too.
It was my full nerd like deep dive. Like I started playing video games online, and then we were having game nights at our house every Friday, and then we were like, we want to do more over the weekend. And his friend at the time was doing a lot of campaigns. He still does, and was like, hey, like, would you be interested in this? And I was like, yes, because I actually have always been interested in playing Dungeons and Dragons, but I just didn't have friends who wanted to commit to doing it. And so we had a group of people, we started doing campaigns, and it just kind of flowed from there. Granted, I haven't done one in about a few months because I've just been so busy,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of fun, to just to do it.
So you pick up on the storyline of Dungeons and Dragons. Is that what you do? Like you end it there, and then when you come back the next Friday, it's like, all right, this is where we left
Yeah.
off. Let's continue. That's so. See, I would love that. It's just it's like the dedication to it.
It is.
You gotta get up
They're
and leave.
So the thing about Dungeons and Dragons that I still don't understand is these campaigns, right? That you call them campaigns. Are they pre-written, or does the dungeon master write their own campaign?
You could do both.
So you can do
either
both,
or.
okay.
So the people who make Dungeons and Dragons do provide you with a campaign, but it's really kind of just a basis of like what happened. So like different events that would be a trigger. So it's kind of like a flow chart of what would happen in like a story format.
Okay.
But there are little exceptions that are going to happen. You're going to have wild cards of your people are just like, hey, like, can I do this? And just having a basic knowledge of what a role in Dungeons and Dragons means is going to help you understand whether your action succeeds or fails. And so that's kind of a fun aspect of it. The way that somebody fails something, the way the dungeon master kind of presents it in that form. That's where they kind of have their own spin on it, their own take, and they could be like, oh, like you were trying to do this one thing. Well, you failed critically, which is just rolling a 1, which means that you so far off did what you were not supposed to do that like this is what happened and now you're being punished.
Wow.
So another show too that came up with that was Riverdale. I don't know if you guys saw the 3rd season of Riverdale.
I have been told to watch Riverdale,
watch it.
and it's
You need
about the
to.
Archie comics, and
You need to.
I'm interested.
It's very dark drama. Like you really need to like get into it. Like, so it wasn't called Dungeons and Dragons. It was called Griffins and Gargoyles.
Oh, that's an interesting take.
So
I like that.
It was the same thing, and it just throughout the whole season, it was Griffins and Gargoyles. This and like all this crazy shit would happen and whatnot, and they'd be like game masters instead of dungeon masters, and it'd be like so it was like it was a cool spinoff of D&D that's kind of where I got a little bit more of a taste for it, because again, I'm almost 30 years old and I've never even like looked into D&D or anything like that. Yet my whole chat's going crazy, like D&D's awesome. I'm starting to play with my family and this and that. But I was like, I've never even like, there wasn't a thought. Like my friend group wasn't based on that, like growing up. So
I completely get that. I have to step away for just 1 second.
Yeah.
I just have to turn off the sprinkler outside.
Yeah, like for me, like I feel like I would have enjoyed Dungeons and Dragons, but I never got into it. Like you just like my friends were never into it. I love that style of what it was, but it was like, yeah, I don't have the time. Like, yeah, like Trace
Correct.
even said she played it before, and I was like, wait, what? Like really? Like I didn't even know it was that big of a thing at the time.
yeah,
I know a lot of people play it.
yeah.
Like, it was Dungeons and Dragons and WoW. I just could never connect to.
I couldn't connect to either of those.
Could never get into it.
I had one friend that was playing WoW when I was growing up, and I still couldn't. I was always outside, sports this, sports that, like, and when I came home, like Halo.
Yeah, mine had come with Gears.
Yeah,
He used to play all the time. He used to play all like as much as he can.
That's probably why he's huge into WoW Classic as of right now. I'm only playing WoW Classic because a lot of my online friends played WoW when it first was like huge, you know, before like major retail became a thing. And so for me personally, I never played anything like that. Like I never played huge MMOs. I played The Sims, and then I would play
Love The
like
Sims.
Wii games. Like that was the extent of my knowledge. And I worked at GameStop when I was 18, and that's where I learned a lot of like my video game knowledge, but I also learned how to BS knowing video games because I would work there.
Yeah.
And so that's where I first got like my first dive into video game world, but I
Okay.
still stuck with like Nintendo games because they were the ones that spoke to me more. And plus I
Yeah.
didn't personally have an Xbox or a PS4 to use and to
Yeah.
play those games.
Okay.
Huh.
So you said that you played on so PS4 was where you started when you were streaming?
Yeah, so we had a PS4 at the house.
Yeah.
And it wasn't mine, but he would let me use it and I could stream off of it. I linked my Twitch account, and then we
Yeah.
would be able to do it that way. And that was I think before that was like right after I got my computer completely built, but we didn't know if we had everything we needed. I don't think I had all the supplies yet for being able to be a streamer. So it was kind of like a process after getting the PC to becoming a streamer with like a face cam, and it entailed a lot of technical difficulties. You know, anyone who's streamed on console knows that it's absolutely difficult to know if what you're doing is going correctly. Like I never knew if my mic was working. I never knew if like they could hear me. You can't modify
you
the
did
sound
Elgato, right?
settings.
Yeah.
No, I streamed directly from the
directly
PS4.
okay. Yeah. And the worst thing about that is that when you want to switch a game, you end your stream.
Yeah, you have to end your stream.
That's the worst part
Same with
about it.
Xbox
It's
too, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that
Like-
with Xbox. You end your stream and it was just horrible.
Yeah.
And
That's how I first started, was just connecting the Xbox.
you know, I still
Pretty
get raids from people like, "Hey, I'm switching games. I'm just raiding you." You know, while I switch games. Yeah, but I mean, like it's stuff like that, and it's crazy how you can get into depth with a lot of these games, and and kind of lose yourself. You know, like WoW and D&D in their own. It's like you sit there for hours and like South Park even made an episode about WoW, how we did. You know, Mom, bathroom. you
Well,
know?
and it's the truth of it though. Like the MMO world, it's got a cult following, and it's something that I also am like, I'm slightly jealous of those feelings, because a lot of it, especially with like WoW Classic today, a lot of it is based on nostalgia, not like not a huge desire to play it. It's more so like the nostalgia of when you played it when you were a kid, which makes it that much more enjoyable, you being able to play it now. So you go to these places and you're like, oh my gosh, like I remember going here. Like I've played with friends who would be excited on the other line with me, just being like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to show you this. Like I can't wait to do this quest. I can't wait to do all of this stuff, because they're so excited to relive the experience. And then, you know, I'm just here and I'm just happy to experience it. And to bask in their nostalgia, it makes me a little bit like jealous, and a little bit of FOMO, you know, because I wish that I had that, you know, when I was a kid. I never was into that.
Wow. Yeah, it's definitely that's definitely a good way to look at it. Like, because nostalgia feel like you never really got to experience until like now. Like they're the ones that are like, oh my god, this is happening, and you're like, wait, what's happening? This is cool though. I like what's happening, but
you could say that for Borderlands. You could say that for Gears. Like all of these series are getting new, like either continuations, or they're getting revamped. Like Xenoblade Chronicles
when it comes
coming out, and everyone is so excited for them because they've played these games when they were a kid, and to have them like remastered or continued, and it just it pushes you in a direction to go and play those other games, and then also to enjoy it that much more when you do play these new games that come out.
Oh yeah.
And it's funny that you say that too, because I'm technically new to Gears. So like Gears 5 is like really the first Gears that I really dug into and really started playing and campaigning and stuff like that. And while I'm playing, like everybody in chat's like, oh my god, that's Barrett, that. Oh my god, I can't believe that happened. Like it was like a whole storyline. I'm like,
yes,
like, well, I don't know what you fucking guys are talking about. So it's like, so it kind of makes me want to go back and play the campaigns from 1 through 4. if I ever
Should.
could.
Yeah.
But I like the game now, but I never liked it growing up because, like I said, like my game was Halo 2. Like I did my homework on the bus, got home, and jumped right on Xbox with Darkman, which you guys all know, Disease, and Booty, which I don't know if you guys know who he is, but like that was our team, that was our squad. We jumped on and played for hours and hours and hours every day, and it's just like, so Gears was never really like a thing for us. But now it's like, wow, okay, now it's cross-platform. Now it's like everything is going towards cross-platform. So
you're playing the story and you're loving it.
I've never
seen, like I've played every Gears and I've never seen, like, you're so into it. I'm just like, he makes this campaign look like it's so much fun, and he's getting scared and go like, I wish I played the campaign like that, because I'm a true diehard Gears fan. So I played it just like, I'm just like, wow, like I know what this is like, but this is all brand new. Like, what? This is sick. Like,
Slev's perspective is he's getting hit with that, oh my god, like there's that guy. Like it's like he's making a cameo. But like Tony is experiencing it full on, like right in the face. He's just like, holy crap, that guy has like one eye. And then you're just like, well, yeah, he lost his eye in the war or something.
Yeah, back 2 games ago. I'm like, well, you know what? Fuck you, all right?
Okay. But it's exactly what you just said, though. It's like what your friends are doing. You're Tony in that perspective.
I am,
you're new to it, and you're appreciating, like, whoa, this is so new. But they're like, yeah, this has been around forever. Like, well,
exactly.
Come on, get with it.
And it makes you just like, you're just looking at it and just in awe because you're watching your friends just have so much fun and just like enjoy the game, and it kind of makes you enjoy the game a little bit more, you know, like you're just like, oh my gosh, like you're so excited about it. Like I've never seen you this excited about anything. Like, you know, I'm about it.
Yep.
I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
You gotta wiggle. You gotta wiggle. It's the only way to get
Oh, there it is. There it is.
So
if we go back, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, you go.
No, I was just saying, like, going back to, like, you said that you took some breaks within the 2 years of streaming. So what? Because like you were saying, how you wanted to build your stream and you wanted to have all the parts ready. You wanted to have everything ready to go before you even started, like to go hardcore with it. Like for me, for example, I hit the play button. I built along the journey. You didn't want to start. So you didn't want to start your journey until you had it all, like hardcore go into it. So
and
And what was your reasoning for that? Why did you think you needed all the good stuff in order to start streaming?
I think when I started full diving into just watching streams in general, I realized what people wanted to look at and wanted to watch, and the quality that I personally was putting out, and whether or not I was playing with my friends and having a good time, it was more so about making myself in the most comfortable place, not necessarily about providing the greatest content. Because even when I first really started getting into it, when I had a camera and stuff, I would play, like, you know, with the lights completely off, you could barely see me. My mic would sometimes work. I would be playing Fortnite with my friends, and it was just, I moved desk positions 4 times within the same room.
Every corner of the room was hit.
I had like a corner desk, and then I bought this like rectangle desk to put more screens on, because the one that I had, I could only have like 1 or 2 screens, and they were like on top of each other. And then I was like slowly decorating the room, and I was trying to find the best background, because this was before I had a green screen, and I knew that eventually wanted to get one, but I didn't know what that entailed. And once I got a better webcam was when I was like, all right, this is when I'm going to start doing it, because I wanted to provide people really great content and be able to like watch me and enjoy me. And because for me, streaming is not about the gameplay for me, because I know that I'm not the greatest. Although I think about it, it's very ironic that I'm like, no, don't worry about my gameplay, as I am FeyGameplay.
Right? My name is gameplay, but I'm trash at it.
But in the long run, like, my personality is what makes people enjoy my streams, and whether or not that I'm playing well or I'm reacting to the type of, you know, game that I'm playing is what makes it. Yeah. Oh my god.
And I think that's what makes all 3 of us similar in that sense.
I'm actually packing to move in to my home. I haven't closed yet, but I'm packing, and I had to put my salty hat in a box.
Oh,
And so my salty hat is gone. So if you want me to be raging salty, it's
can't have it right
not
now.
possible. It's not going to be activated.
So so real quick. So
That starts it all.
Ogres goes should be faux gameplay.
Faux game. Oh,
FAUX.
It's like, oh, you know, I don't want to put that out
She's
there.
a phony.
I do technically provide gameplay. I'm not just like a just chatting streamer. So I will say that. So I moved my desk, and once I had everything good and I was slowly beefing up what I had. So I was going deeper and deeper into it. And I didn't start going full deep into it until I met someone who was on a partner push grind. It was the very first person. He was the very first stream team after he got partner. It was the very first stream team that I was ever in. And that was when he started suggesting a bunch of things to me and kind of like offering advice. And it wasn't, I didn't have anybody in my chat other than like 1 or 2 people that would chat and give me solid advice. You know, like when you first started streaming, and like your mic would be muted for 10 minutes and you would have like 3 people in chat,
what do you mean
no
started
one
streaming?
would tell you.
That still happens.
It's like, let her suffer.
Yeah, like no one tells you. Like, oh, like, you know, then you'd have one random person come in and just be like, hey, you know, your game volume's not, you like, we can't hear it.
Yeah.
And then they would leave. And then when you would fix it and then you would try to get them to confirm, they'd be gone and you'd just be like,
well.
So every time I would start my stream, I would be like, please tell me if everything is working correctly. Just please.
Yeah.
I almost like branded it. Like, just,
like, please, when I start my stream, tell them. I have like a command for it and everything. Can you hear me?
Help me, please.
Yeah, help me. Oh man.
That's so funny. And I think that's what that kind of connect I already said that, I think. I don't know what I'm trying to say at this point. Apparently I've already been drinking too much. Anyways. Oh, so take us to what FeyBae.
Oh,
take us to the FeyBae.
Okay, so FeyBae originated.
She's like,
sorry, I play with my hair a lot because it's all fluffy and floofy, and it's like it's still just there, so you just have to deal. So FeyBae originated from someone who's actually in Avenger Friends, and I pulled him into Avenger Friends from the stream team that we were both in. So I was speaking about how a partner was got a stream team. He made his own stream team, but it was very much like it was like I guess it was like selfish motivation, you could kind of say. Like it was one of those where he had a great mindset where he wanted people to be supportive and kind of a little bit on how what's it called? A little bit on how like you would support somebody and they would support you back. And in Avenger Friends, I like it because it is very much a no strings attached type of support. And in the stream team that I was in, it was not. And I felt very much like I was the one who was supporting a lot of people. Like you guys, I don't like to brag. I don't like to promo myself. I don't like to do anything like that. But I do like to say that I do support as much people as I can as possible, like 1,000%. So if I'm supporting people, I don't ever expect it back, but I was noticing that I was doing this and I was absolutely getting nothing in return. No one would come to my streams. There was very little interaction from the stream team that I was in. Except for one
team.
I noticed that a lot. Believe it or not. I noticed that a lot.
They changed from a team to a community. So when the new change went over, that's when they became like a community. And so there was one person from that team that I was really good friends with, and his name is Henny. So Henny Trippy is the guy in Avenger Friends, and he would be he's very like he actually.
This must have been a while ago.
He's in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in there that don't talk, but it's okay.
He got a new girlfriend. I think that's what's going on. So.
Oh, this guy over there, he doesn't talk. Valor, Tony. Enter.
Yeah, hey. yeah, Slev going, hey, we posted something in Valor. We need you to go vote for. I'm like,
and he just
no
said,
problem.
No, I think you said no.
Yeah.
Like
I go,
no.
No.
And like, all right, no, like messing with me. I was like, son of a bitch.
So
go ahead. What were you saying about the stream team?
Yes, so I would go to his streams like periodically, and the word "bae" gets thrown around quite a lot. And I amongst my like friend group, I have never experienced Boo, BB, and Bay as much as I have being in Avenger Friends. It's
Bet.
hilarious. And so it was in his stream that he was just like, hey, it's like, Faye is Bay. And then that was kind of where FeyBae originated. He has coined FeyBae. And I was like, oh my God, I love that so much. And I never like introduced myself as FeyBae because it's very much one of those like, hi, I'm FeyBae. And it's like,
I'm
it's
FeyBae.
it's so like prestige,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's dumb, not dumb, but it's one of those like, if I, think my shit doesn't stink, then
She's like,
I'll
nose to
be
the
FeyBae.
sky.
Yeah, exactly. So
It's your
so
alter
it's like,
ego.
yeah. So that's when people started saying that like Faye is Bae, and it became more into like the Discord, and it became this huge kind of like blow up thing where now it's like I am Faye Bae.
FeyBae.
Like
FeyBae.
it's just who I am.
FeyBae.
And I'm okay with that because Faye Bae is a lot better than FeyGameplay. And I enjoy being Faye Bae a little bit more than FeyGameplay some days, but that's another topic.
I mean,
like it's just a short way of saying your name.
Yeah.
we got time.
Yeah.
We got time.
I mean, we got all night.
How long has like FeyBae been sticking?
FeyBae has been sticking for about 6 months.
6 months. Okay.
I would say about 6 months, like about half. And it, Exilid says it, he says FeyBae all the time. And I put FeyBae in the Discord as my nickname just because it's become, it's more so just a shortened way of people keep like saying that like Faye is Bae. And I don't know what I keep doing to be Bae, but I'm just there.
Bae.
Showing the love to so many people. Because I'm gonna stick up for that. It's you do support a lot of people in the Avenger Friends. You are family, and you show how much you love the community. So it's not like it's going unnoticed. Trust me. It's like Faye is Bae. FeyBae.
Oh.
It's like FeyBae.
FeyBae.
Yeah. So you earned the Bae part 100%, not just because it became a nickname, but it's like Bae is somebody that someone loves. Like it's my Bae. So that's what it is.
Yeah, I appreciate it too because I've spoken about this before for anybody who's like ever asked, but the stream team that I was in, especially the one that like me and Henny were in, it was just not conducive. The simple fact of the matter was I would leave, like I would often be in my streams and I would be at the point of just not enjoying it. It's a moment where, I joined Avenger Friends in April, and it was only about a week or two after I had left my other stream team because I was so unhappy with the way that things were going. The main person wasn't doing anything. They were basically leaving, like they were leaving it up to everyone else to run the stream team, and he wasn't being in there. But yet he still wanted new people to come in and do all of this stuff, and we couldn't do anything. We couldn't approve anything. We were just here, we were moderating and stuff, and it was just like, and so in my DMs he's telling me like, oh my God, like I'm prepping this stream team for you. Everyone would kill for a stream team, like why are you leaving? Like, and so it was hilarious because he didn't understand that I was leaving to try to figure out where I stood on my own without that stream team. And I found out shortly after that I stood pretty damn strong without it. It was actually a hindrance because of the person who ran it and because of the people that were in it. I was actually losing viewers. I was losing people, kind of not. They were like, I'm so glad that you got away from that because the guy doing that was not a good person. Like he's not a good, dude. And that's when Philopagoose dragged me into
so Goose brought you to the Avenger.
Goose brought me to Avenger Friends. He
But how long
introduced me to Empress in April. So
this year. That's actually pretty close.
April this year. Yes.
Okay.
Well, Tony, we know Goose and Empress from the other old community that I will not talk about.
Yeah,
that's where we met them.
The community we shall not name.
Yeah. So basically, it's basically what you're saying on the stream team is this one person, led the stream team, but he's the only one benefiting, or she. I don't know who it was, but like on the stream team, they're the only ones that are benefiting. This is how that community felt, where it's like this is the only person. Like, like if you look at the Avengers, I see if it's like if you're active in the community, I see so many channels growing. Like
Yes.
so rapidly too. Like where they came in with 3 viewers as their average, now they're averaging 15. Just
Yep.
because they're active, they're out there networking, supporting, making friends. That's what it's about. And that's where you came over, and then explain like what you felt when you came into the Avenger Friends.
I honestly, it was crazy because it was like a complete 180 flip. Because when I was when I first started like streaming with Avenger Friends, I took off like the stream team that I had. Like, you know, I was unaffiliated pretty much. Like I didn't have anything attached to FeyGameplay. And it felt kind of liberating at the end because there was a bunch of people who were telling me that I was making the right decision. And then, you know, as a newbie, everyone who has been a newbie in Avenger Friends knows that the welcoming committee and just the welcome wagon of Avenger Friends is just next level. Like the way that they go and they support is just absolutely amazing.
It's overwhelming.
And wonderful. And it can be a little bit overwhelming, but
some
I
people
will
are like, whoa, the welcome. I didn't expect this.
Yeah, it's so loving. It's so awesome.
It feels good.
Yeah,
I will say that it feels really good. Like as a new person coming in, like you see, and even like, I mean, you know, you get communities like Royale that you can't even get a word in edgewise unless like you've been there for months and months and months, and you just continue to harass the chat. But in Avenger Friends, you don't have that, you know? And it's not based, and people aren't there for malicious reasons. They're not there for selfish reasons. You do get the occasional people that are there, but Avenger Friends made me feel like people actually genuinely cared about me as a streamer and what I had to offer and what I have to provide and how I can strengthen Avenger Friends as a whole too. It wasn't just like me as a streamer. It was, how can I help the community grow? How can I talk about Avenger Friends, and how can I, how can I help? Which is one of the main reasons why I wanted to be on the welcoming committee, and that's one of the reasons that helped me get to be in the officer role, was just the huge desire to be a part of helping the community grow and moderate and help and provide answers. That's just, Avenger Friends literally has changed my whole streaming life. I will say it right here and right now, because without them, I don't know if I would still be doing this.
So they gave you that little extra push.
And I'm sure that goes for a lot of us too. Like, I know if it, like, even though I don't talk so much in Avenger Friends, because every time I do, I get fucking friendlied.
You could talk about all that in the Truth or Dare section, all right? You could drop the peen and all that stuff. Here, you never know what can happen.
I'm gonna fucking drop the peen everywhere. I'm gonna flop the peen around everywhere.
After you, it's okay.
All right.
Tony, Valor, you can say it all you want.
Listen, Slev, I'm gonna flop the peen out everywhere. All right, it's going everywhere. General chat, everything.
Oh my God, Tony gets banned.
Flopping around. They already have a Tony command.
Wait, what is it? What does the Tony command say?
It's like it says that I got like an infraction for being dumb or something like that.
Oh yeah.
You would.
Classic.
The thing is, again, Tony, we love it, but there are some peeps that you never know.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Trust me, I
Watch
know.
out.
We've gotten messages. No. I know. I know. All right.
The last time Tony dropped something, I friendlied him. I actually was in there and I was like, friendly. I'm like, come on, frickhead. Come on, man. And he's like,
yeah, my own fucking best friend friendlied me. Fucking, I'm over here going.
Listen, I can't take sides here. I got to do the right thing.
You better fucking take my side every time. I swear to God.
Yeah, see, Christina's friendlied him many times. Yes.
Christina,
I heard that there's something going on.
Fuck off.
I did too.
Would you like to share, Tony?
Oh, yeah. Oh, Christina's in chat? Oh, Christina. Yo, Christina's one of my bitches, everybody. She's one of the bitches.
I'm afraid to see what she's about to
Christina
say.
is my bottom bitch.
Oh, where did this start? What happened? She said, I'm not. She said, oh, my God, no. And she said, your bitch. I'm not your bitch. So, wait, how did that even happen?
I don't even know. Just one night, I was just like...
Not even, guys, we all know Tony as the stupa beach. Not bitch, beach. And he's calling her...
I'm not
the B word.
Calling her a bitch.
No, she's your bitch, not beach.
She's one of my bitches.
What do you?
My
oh my
bitch.
She's one of my bitches.
But yeah, I think that's hilarious.
She's the bottom bitch. She takes care of shit. All right.
But you see what's great about
she's
this?
the one I
we're
turn to.
Joking around, we're all having
Yes.
fun. Like we troll each other in the best ways. that we can laugh it off. It's not harassing. It's done in a beautiful way, and that's why I also love the Avenger Friends and the people that gel together.
It's built up of people who all, and even if like there's some streamers or some like people in Avenger Friends that you don't necessarily get along with or you don't think like share the same humor, they're brought in by people who do have that humor, who do share those same ideals with them, and so that is what that's what I love the most, is because there's a lot of people that, you know, are very diverse, you know, it's all over the place. There's people everywhere to be able to just gel with. Like you could find somebody tomorrow that had the same humor as you, that joined 3 days ago, and you wouldn't have even known, because so much happens in general chat. But then they start talking about it, and then they, you know, drop something, and it's like, oh, I think I want to get to know that person a little bit more, because I think what they said is hilarious, or what I think is, it's just they're a great person. And so, and that's kind of how, me personally, how I found all of these amazing people. It's like everyone that I speak to in Avenger Friends is due to me observing first, and then realizing like, oh, I can be this type of person. Yeah, I can be myself, because you know, it's just you guys create a place for that.
And that's the thing I love about that community, is that even though we're all in the same community and we all love each other, like you still see like the cliques forming. You know what I mean? Like everybody has their own clique, and that's kind of like where like the teams come in too. You know, like everybody like all the people I like are on Valor or Royal or like Inferno and stuff like that, and they all kind of migrate, but still we all still support each other. So you know what I mean? So it's not like it's the people you talk to within the Discord and like gel with are like there in a group, and then outside of that, everybody has tabs up for everybody. Everybody's lurking, everybody's supporting back and forth, and it's just it's amazing to see.
Well, absolutely.
We're not doing it to be like, oh, I hope they lurked me back. Like, no, it's not about that.
And the premise is there as well. Like it's there to a point where it's set up to help you succeed as a streamer. Like Avenger Friends wholly, if like you really take a look at it, is set up completely for you as a streamer to be as successful as possible. And
as you want.
As you want, and as much work as you do. And to do that, you do have to network. You do have to hang out in other people's streams, and you do have to show them a little bit of give, and you have to do it without expectations, because that's one of the main reasons that like Slev comes to Tony's stream, or Slev goes to, you know, Tracy's streams, or anything else. Like these people that you support, you're not being bullshitted. Like if I could say that, you know, like this isn't like, you can't BS us as streamers in Avenger Friends, because we know when somebody is out there specifically for themselves. It's viewed, which is why, and I'm gonna say that I personally will not hang out in a stream if I can't give a few like 20 minutes or 30 minutes of my time to speak with the streamer, because it doesn't feel genuine enough. And that's of course just me. It's just the way that I personally
a lot of people though.
Go.
Exactly. You want personability. You want somebody who's personable, who can like talk back, like, hey, what's going on? Like, how's your day? This and that. Not, hey, what's up? Awesome. Yeah. It was great.
Or like dropping a lurk. Not that that's an issue, because I do love like everyone who lurks on anyone's streams. You guys are killer. You do help those numbers go up. You do understand that this is just a grind that we're all doing. It's just, we also want you to stay. We want you to chat. We want to say hi to you. You know, like we want to know how your day is, what your weekend plans are. And then like, that's it. You could go on your merry way. You could tell me, hey, by the way, like I'm gonna leave for 3 hours, but I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna keep your tab up. I'm gonna be like, all right, cool. Like I might not be here, but like cool. Today I was in, I started out I think in Spud's stream, and I ended up in some random person stream, because I just flew with the raids, but I had so much going on during the day that I was not, I didn't participate, but I was lurking. So that's just kind of how it ends. You know, that's kind of how it goes.
And another thing is like all day I see you all day. I'm at work, you're at work. We're both basically chatting up on everyone's stream. But when 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock EST comes around, that's when I'm starting to prep up for my day, and I'm about to go live. And like, if I see people like I wish I could talk to, but I'm like, well, I can at least leave them a lurk while I stream. because I have the ability. When I have my laptop, I can lurk 1 or 2 back then, and that sucked. Now I have the ability to do it, so I do, and I feel bad. Like I'm like, oh, but I'd rather you say lurk in my stream, because then I don't look at the viewers. Like I don't look at some people like to micromanage, and I can't do that. They like, I wonder who's in my stream right now, and I better, like, oh, but I can't do that. And if I see you say lurk, I'm gonna try to remember it, because I'm like, you actually came in, and I thank you for that. Like even just saying hi, and if you don't even say anything else, you just say hi and then bye. You at least came by my stream and said hi. Thank you.
Yeah.
Out of tens of thousands of streams out there, we were chosen.
Exactly. So, and it means, it does mean a lot. Like it means so much to all of us. And I speak for myself and for the 2 weirdos that I'm in between right now.
Yeah.
Anything that you can provide.
Me?
These guys.
This guy?
Yeah. That was great.
This guy? Over here?
We have I just gotta give it a little special shout. We got Dark Arrow.
I saw. Didn't you see me? I was like this. I was like,
oh, really? I didn't see that. We got Dark Arrow. We also got Disease coming in. What up, baby? Yeah, I see Dark. Because guys, the reason why I had to stop and say Dark is because Dark has basically done all of our emotes. Dark has designed Dark Arrow, that logo right below us. So he basically does a lot of work for the Avenger Friends without even being a part of them. But he loves the Avenger Friends, which is amazing.
Yeah. He's done a lot of.
He does do a lot of work. I see his stuff everywhere, and I think that he's so freaking talented, and it's amazing. I heard he had to close commissions because he overworked, and he needs to be given a trophy.
Everybody loves him. He does deserve a trophy. He deserves it all.
He opens up his commissions for me though, so I mean, it's all right.
That sounds naughty.
Sexual? Yeah, it was.
So I have another. So leading up to that, so we covered that, where you started in streaming, who got you into streaming, the time you took off, the building of your stream, and now you're here. You're in this day and age. Like, you worked your ass off to get to where you are now, and your channel's growing. I see you growing as a streamer. You have a beautiful stream overlay, and I can tell you really take care of what you want and what you produce to the peeps. The thing is, I have a question. Is like, what are your main goals of streaming? Like, where do you want to go with this?
I get asked that pretty often too, because people will tell me like, oh, like you could be a partner streamer, and it's like, is that the goal? Because right now I'm enjoying just doing what I'm doing, and I'm enjoying the path that it takes to get there. And I know that I will grow with it, and eventually I will have to go super duper like heavy into it if I do want to go in that sense. But streaming for me has always just been a way to just express myself in general. It's not necessarily been, I've got like small goals. How I said I wanted 700 followers probably by the end of my 24-hour stream. When I do that. And
shout out Faye right now.
Yep, Faye Gaming. Everybody go follow her. Avenger Friends. She's close to 700. She's close to 700 followers. Go do it. Go fucking do it.
The reason why I say this is because, I'm sorry to interrupt, but no goal is too big, too small. If it's your goal, it's your goal. If your goal is 700, then you hit that 700, and guess what? Your next one is 750 or 800.
Exactly,
that is your personal. And it feels good to hit it. And the thing is, you appreciate the people that helped you get there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and you could tell.
Yes, I do.
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to say that.
No, you're fine. It's just, I think I was kind of hesitant about like kind of changing my whole, like, not necessarily the platform, but changing the content that I do to be like more minimal, and then to have these 24-hour streams monthly, because it's exciting, because it's like, holy crap, like every month I'm going to do a 24-hour stream. That's really wonderful. But
amazing.
But it's cool because I can utilize that time to hit goals for myself. Like, this kind of forces me to look at my stream as a whole and kind of be like, okay, well, where do I want to be by the end of this? Like, what is accomplishable when I'm doing this, and it doesn't always have to be monetary, like there can be few donation goals or charity times, but I would want to utilize it more to to kind of promo the channel itself. Like these 24 hours are to promo me. Like you're gonna stay there for 24 hours, then you might as well enjoy me as a person and tell you why. And so it's interesting and fun, and it's nervous. It's like nerve-wracking because I'm gonna have to do it every month, and I'm gonna have to have the motivation. I mean,
Tony, wait.
It's like a carbon copy.
The fat Slev.
It's like,
I don't remember. Who's Slev? Who's Slev? I don't.
Jesus Christ.
It's both thing. I don't get it.
Wait. So Tony, you're an ass. So back to what you were saying.
Well.
I was like, I see him going slowly backing up and doing this. I'm like, what the hell's happening right now? And then he goes for the glasses. Oh my god. So yeah. So okay. So continue what you were saying. I'm sorry.
So it's like I never sat down and like looked at my stream and was just like I never had a goal for streaming. I was only ever doing it because people, you know, I have a personality and I want people to know about it, you know? Like it's an interesting personality, and if it's not your type, it doesn't have to be your type, you know? Like, you know, different strokes for different folks.
We're all different. Yeah.
Exactly. But I
That's
do
what makes
know.
It beautiful.
Yeah. I do know that, you know, basically I enjoy what I do, and every goal that I reach means 1,000 times so much more than you guys could ever think. Because in my brain, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking it's never. And so when stuff like this happens, where my freaking email blows up because there's a bunch of, you know, people who are following me because
you got some follow,
out of contract, I was only supposed to be shouted out twice, but that's
I never signed any. I never signed up for any of this. I never signed up any of this. I don't know what you're talking about.
Wait, did you see a contract?
I didn't see a contract. No. I mean,
wait, what did I sign then? Am I giving away my baby? I don't know.
Yikes. Anyways, that's gonna be it, guys. I'll see you later.
That's the end of the Brew Boys.
This is where I expose the Brew Boys.
No, like the thing is, we give the shout out because you deserve it. Like you, because we actually didn't even do this. We knew, you know, A stepped up today because Ice White, we all know, is very, very sick and he's in the hospital and he's recovering. So our prayers go out to him. But we knew that, okay, the Brew Boys still have to go on tonight. What are we gonna do? And Faye was the first one to hit up on that Twitter, and I was like, wait a minute, I knew I wanted Faye to be on this already. Like when I spoke to you, you even said like,
I just was like, hey, I can't wait to tune in, even if it's just you guys.
I remember some comment, and I was just like, that's right. Like I told you, I'm like, no, I want you to be on it.
I asked who wanted to be on it, and she's like, hey, I can't wait to tune in. I was like,
I was just like, wait a minute, that's a little subliminal messaging.
It wasn't.
I know, but in a good way, in a very good way. So I'm like, no, I would love Faye to be on. Like I would love for her to come on. And you're here. So
I am.
It's all, and the guys, it's all out of nowhere. Yeah, we didn't have nothing set up.
It was like reverse psychology. She's like, yeah, I can't wait to tune in.
Oh gosh.
Don't make me have malice intentions. It's not.
Oh my god. So what I love is that like our chats right now, okay, it just shows you how much people care. Like a shout out, guys. We get shout outs all, you know, you give me shout outs every damn stream I go into. And I'm
all
like,
the time.
Son of a bitch, me too.
If I'm able to, I'm going to.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, Tony.
I told her tonight, I'm like,
what are you doing?
You can't escape the shout outs tonight, and you deserve it. So, but yeah, so your goal is 700. And the closer you get there.
Yes.
And you were thinking you were going to hit that on your 24 hours?
Yeah,
is that your goal for the 24-hour stream?
That was the goal for the 24-hour stream, because I had hit we had finally hit over 650, and I was just like, however many we get up into when I'm doing that, like we could probably do that. We could probably do that, because on the one that I had earlier, like previously, we had like 30 plus people like you know follow, and you know it was enough, you know, that was like, man, like the metrics from that stream made me like think it was a genius idea, because if I do this 24 hours, if I am as profitable, or if it is as good as each one, I will not have to stream more than 1 or 2 more times during the month, which gives me more time to support others, which gives me more time to kind of recuperate and figure out what I'm going to do for the next one. So it was kind of like a way to brand something because I needed something. Like I couldn't just be FeyGameplay variety streamer. Somebody who just like who has a personality. Like I needed something to my channel. And this is kind of it. Like I've started already trying with the whole like, oh, I'm FeyGameplay, your monthly 24-hour streamer. And it's like
I like
it's
that.
yeah, like it's
Sounds
interesting.
nice.
Like, you know, it does. It kind of flows and
It sounds like you rehearsed that in the mirror a few times. It's like,
I
oh,
might
this
have
sounds pretty good.
I might have just looked at everybody I've talked to recently and been like, hey, by the way,
Hey, by the way,
I'm monthly 24-hour streaming.
See, that takes a lot though to be to do that. I did it one time on my 1-year anniversary. I did a 24-hour stream. By the 21st hour, you can ask Trace and you can ask Ratha. I felt drunk out of my mind and I didn't drink.
Oh,
that
it's not good. I feel like if I don't have a heavy goal like I did last time, where it's something that I was so dependent on like reaching, I will be a little bit better about it. It'll probably sit a little bit easy, like a little bit easier. But I will say, like, and this is like a huge shout out to my Oblivion people. There was at least one Oblivion person in my channel or on the call with me for the full 24 hours. Like the team, the people, like the niche group of people that we have, like the niche people. I don't know why I said niche. It sounded so like stupid.
Sounded good to me because
but
any word sounds good to me.
They played games with me. They stuck with me. Like, and that's another not like of friends and placing me in the right place. Like I feel like I am where I belong team wise because of that, which is why
you're with the greatest frick heads on earth.
I love my frick heads.
They're amazing. Spyro,
I'm not a
frick
head. I'm
you're
like the only girl.
with that team.
Me and Beautiful Zombie, Broken Fire. That's it.
It's all you need, I guess. I mean, whatever.
Defend against the frick heads.
We have
no, but you're
to.
right. You're in an amazing group. Like again, like the teams are full of amazing people. Yeah, when we get competitive during tournaments, that's when you're going down. But other than
too competitive sometimes.
You guys are gonna win. We've already established that Fortnite. Like no one in Oblivion plays Fortnite, but we all had the same idea that it was.
I could totally play in the. I could totally play now, but I can't.
So basically,
you said you got 8 people already, right?
I think Nate had to step down.
I'll play.
So Ghost, I think he had something going on. So
then
I'll
talk about 8 people, and so we're trying to figure out which, like, we're gonna figure out which team, like, how our teams are gonna be balanced to give us the most chance. But we're pretty much gonna suck. We already know, but we.
But I love that you want to be a part of it. That's the best
I did want to be a part of it. Like, and I've been Spud Gaming can attest to this. I've been playing some Fortnite with him. I have been sucking pretty bad. We've not lasted like 3 minutes out of the gate, but it's just because it's like after you play Apex and Realm and everything, like Fortnite legitimately you're running and it's so slow. And I'm just like, am I doing this right? It feels really slow. Like it doesn't feel correct. And then none of my shots are hitting, and it's just not okay.
But you're playing a game that's out of your element, and you're still being a part of the team, and that's what's awesome about it.
I'm excited. I'm really excited. October 13th. It'll be right after. It'll be right after the 24 hours.
Wow! Wait! So you're doing it that Saturday?
Wait, time out. Here come the excuses.
No, because I was in the same situation.
Perfect excuse.
For the very first Fortnite tournament we had is the Avengers. I did my very first 24-hour stream, and I did it from that Saturday into Sunday. I had to end at 11, and the tournament started at 1. I passed out. I woke up at like 3, and I'm like, wait, because Valor needed a person, and I think Trace came back and ended up playing, so I didn't play. But I had the same situation. Trust me, you're gonna be playing Fortnite and be like, wait, what's going on now?
I think what's gonna happen is I'm gonna modify my times to where we end with like the Fortnite tournament, and then I can just go to like crash after that. Yeah. I will have the next day off of work because it's a bank holiday, which is nice. So
you get to get caught up on your sleep right there.
Exactly. I'll be hopefully in my new home. So
I for one will never do a 24-hour stream.
Don't say never.
You're a dad. If you did that, I would be like, what is wrong with you?
There's a lot of things wrong with me. Do you know who I am? I mean, there's a lot of things going wrong up here. But
said I stayed up 28 hours straight with layovers coming back from Disney.
Yeah.
So I guess I guess if you can stay up 28 hours, I guess, but see, streaming, it's like you're behind monitors and all that energy smacking you in the face. It's like, I felt like I got knocked out. I was like, what's happening in this 24-hour stream right now?
That's why you got to get a fan that blows on your nuts the whole time.
I complained about my nuts. I complained about my brain.
I know, but it just keeps it flowing. Just keeps the air flowing.
I don't have nuts.
And she did perfectly
so
fine.
What can I do?
You got the vagine fan.
Oh my god.
I don't know if it has the same effect.
It does. Trust me, it does. I have both.
Oh,
Are you speaking from experience?
apparently, yes.
Yeah? What the fuck? Why wouldn't I speak from experience?
Get ice
Always.
cubes. Jeez. All right. So wait. So Tony, do you have any questions?
I
Well, we just
Great
asked about her
question.
That's a
goals,
great question.
not
Can you
where
answer that one?
So basically, you don't like. Okay. So is this gonna be a big question? Is partner on your mind? Is that something that you would like one day?
Oh, yeah, of course. Like it's something that I think is attainable. Like here and there. But I feel like I need more to me. Like you ever feel like you're just like you lack like something is missing to kind of just put you in that like, oh, I could
Class?
definitely see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just I don't know. It feels like my content is like missing a key element to be considered something like a partner streamer. Like I don't necessarily know if it's anything that I can remedy right now or if it's anything that is really wrong. It just feels like if I was to just go and be like, all right, we're being partner now. And then just every stream is just like super hard. You know, I'm playing all the games and I'm doing things and I'm trying to be as best as I can. I feel like I would still be missing something. I just think that, and I think that can go for a good bit of people. Like the grind of becoming a partner is very taxing. Like it has to be on your mind 100%. You have to consistently stress about stuff. And I'm such a worrywart and I'm anxious and I'm like depressed all the time when you know in the background, and it's like I've taken mental breaks before
Just remember, I always
because
love
I've
you.
not been able to because I've not been able to even mentally stream because being Faye requires a version of yourself where you have to feel at your peak, you know? And I assume it's the same for both of you, you know? Like you have to feel your best to want to be your best. And I personally don't think that I feel my best to be the best, which would be the goal for partner. And so until that kind of evens and balances out, I feel like I will always be missing something in my content because it's just me as a person, you know, like I feel I'm incomplete, and that's okay. And you know, it's okay to recognize that. The more that you recognize, the more that you assess yourself as a person, the easier it is for you to kind of figure out what's going to make yourself tick and what helps get you back into the right mindset. And so I strongly encourage everyone to do that. Just take a moment to step outside your brain and think about what you feel and analyze, you know, what you feel and how you could be better, what you could do to be better. And I know Spiver,
you're reading that
Spiver,
right?
Spiver specifically, like you know, I've spoken to him about mental health so much because, you know, I used to do this small little segment on my channel as well about mental health, and I can't preach it enough. There's, you know, if I could go off on a mini tangent here, there is no bigger kind of attack on your mental health than being a streamer and not wanting to let anybody and wanting to show that you support people and pushing yourself to the limit as a streamer and as a viewer it's taxing. It's a lot, especially, you know, I would even assume in Tony's shoes, he takes the time to spend time with his family, but I know like it maybe in the back of his brain he's just like me. I have to have people lurked, or I have to, you know, there's kind of like a rigmarole that goes along being a streamer and being a viewer that, you know, you almost feel obligated to do. The biggest thing that you can learn is that it's not an obligation, because the minute that you make it an obligation, it's not fun anymore. So never
Takes the fun right out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so never feel like this is more than what your health or your happiness is. Like this is always going to be here.
Yeah.
You're going to go to sleep, you're going to wake up, it's here.
It's
But you
it's
personally,
That was perfectly said too.
yeah. Like it's funny how you mentioned me, because a lot of people don't know. I know Slev knows, is that a lot of times like I deal with it too.
mhm,
You know, and I feel like sometimes I'm like I come on stream and I put a smile on and be the Tony you guys all know, and then when I hit end, I'm just like, what's going on? You know,
it's
so
like draining. It's
it
mentally
is.
exhausting to be the real Fat Tony, to be Slev 86, to be Fake Gameplay, like to be these personas. You are being yourself. Like we're not putting on fake people. Like these are us, but they're a version of us in a different part of our lives right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a version of
And
me
it's
that I
something
want to be.
exactly. We
Yeah.
want to be these people and we want to be them for you. But sometimes it's just not the case, you know?
Yeah.
You sit there and you're just like, I mean, is this really something that I can put out?
Mhm.
And it's like this house stuff, for an example, has been so draining like and it's been exhausting, and it's more than I've ever had to deal with in my life, like physically. And so I know that like my brain is dead. It's like mush. Like there's nothing up here. So it's difficult for me to be able to like concentrate. I make mistakes more, and I can't type correctly because I know that my brain is just mentally exhausted. I'm also not sleeping well. So it's
Same.
like I would
Happens a lot.
never want to put
What's
myself
sleep?
in a situation even more. Well, you work a job that's so demanding on yourself as well. Like it's incredible that you're able to do all of this and have a family and be able to work your job. Like I'm like just knowing what I know about Tony, awe of how you are able to balance it all, even if you think that you're not fully balancing it. Like the way that you are personally balancing it and showing everyone that you are doing it, and you're releasing your humor and you're being, your ego, and it's making everyone happy and it's making everyone smile, and that feels, it's got to be at least a little bit feeling good and make it a
Yeah.
little bit easier.
And that's why I love this, is because when I'm here, it's like I can be who I am. But like when I'm at work for 12 hours a day, like I got to be professional. I can't be who I want to be. You know, so it's not like so like the 2 hours I get a day throughout the week, it's like, all right, perfect. But I mean, there's sometimes I wake up and it's like, I just want to go back to bed. Like, I'm not feeling it today. Like, and with that mindset, I feel like I let people down as well. Because, like, I'll put something on Discord or Twitter, hey, I'm not feeling it. I'm going to go back to bed and go back to bed. But, like, I feel like every time I do that, I let somebody down.
Yeah.
And because, like, maybe somebody needs a smile that day. And, like, I care more about everybody else besides myself.
You need to smile that day.
Yeah.
And that is the biggest thing that I think that everyone goes to as well. Like that huge feeling. I apologize for interrupting. You can
No,
continue.
that's fine. No, I mean, and it's like, like I feel to myself, I'm like, well, I can't do this today. I'm letting somebody down who may need a smile, who was looking forward to, getting a good laugh because they're in a tough spot. And, and for me to be also in that tough spot and not being able to help that person out through their day, like also puts a toll on me too. So it's like, I get it both ways, for where I am. So it's like, so sometimes, some days I wake up, I put a smile on and I go do what I do to make everybody else, at least have somewhat of a better day, even though I may not be. But that's just who I am. Like I'll put everybody else before me, my family, you guys, everybody, because in the end I have, a 12-hour shift where I can reflect on myself, and
Yeah.
and sometimes I might be able to get people through their day of work, or, they're having a tough time, and just be able to get them through being like, oh, you know what, that was really good, to push on another day.
Yeah.
And And like I'm always gonna keep going. I'm always gonna keep pushing on, But you always get those days where you just like, like,
Mm-hmm.
what's my worth? And you don't, and you can't answer that question. So I'm sure that question too. Like,
Yeah.
and a lot of people do. And that's the thing about the video game community too, as well, is that we all connect, at least on that level, for the most part, to a point
I
where.
actually. Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. No, so go ahead. So I was just gonna say, to a point where, like, that's why we all connect, and that's why we all become such great friends. Like, even though
Mhm.
we're looking at each other through a screen, I know that if we ever met each other, it wouldn't be any different.
Exactly.
Like, and that's what it was for me and Slev. I mean, me and Slev knew each other for 8 months before, like, meeting each other. So it was like, but when we met each other, it was like we never, like, if like we were
Mhm.
best friends for fucking
Yeah.
years,
Mhm.
and that's what this gives everybody, and that's what the Avenger Friends gives everybody, and that's what the community is. It's all love and support, and and that's just like a great feeling in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
And
I was gonna say, like, I have a different, like, for me, what I've been through, and we all, I always say it, we all have so much stuff that's going on in our lives, and there's always gonna be bad. No matter what you do, there's never gonna be good without the bad. So before my mom passed, I used streaming as a way to forget, and like a way to deal with the pain. And then after she passed, I found a way to stream, and I realized that, like it was not used for that reason anymore, and it
Mhm.
became like, I love this. I always loved it, but I was always into it, but I was also very sad, and I was battling myself, like, am I allowed to be happy while she's suffering? Am I allowed to smile during a hard time? And I fought myself so much on that. I'm like, my mom would not want me to stop. She would never wanted me to stop doing that, and that's why even after she passed, I knew I was going to come back to this because she would want me to. And
Mhm.
I live by that way. You give 100%, expect zero positivity over the negative. If you dish out negative to the world, it's going to
Mhm.
come back at you. If you dish out positive and negative hits you, at least you look at it in a different way. Like, there's just a different way to flip the negative, instead of just
Mhm.
saying, like, oh, fuck this, I'm not gonna be able to get this. Like, instead of saying, no, I'm gonna work my ass off to get this. And but again, it's a different way of looking at the same situation in a positive light. And that's
Yeah.
how I process my life, where it's like, yeah, life is, I'm up 5:45 every day. I drive my girlfriend's kid to school. I go to the gym, and then I go to work, and I come home, and then traffic. It's just, we all go, like, the days are long, and then yet we still
Mhm.
want to stream, and we still want to put on a show and
Yeah.
have fun. And where's the energy coming from? And we're like digging deep for it. Like, here it is. Like, Tony will only sleep 4 hours a day, but he's digging deep when he goes live. So, and like you said, you're stressing over your house, so that's got to be a lot. That's a life changer. That is like,
It's
life
so
is
much.
going. Yeah, that's like you're changing your life in a snap. And but
Everybody's
once
going
you
through that same
accomplish
thing,
it,
though.
yeah, once you accomplish it, then you're gonna feel so good in that moment, and you're gonna continue to
Mhm.
go, because life does not stop. So
Yeah.
even if, like, things are hitting you hard, life is gonna go on with or without you. I
Mhm.
say go with it. Like, even
Absolutely.
you do the best you can to think in a positive light. I really wish I could help the world with that, and it's such a hard thing to do, because I'm not, I don't think a certain way, and I want people to feel a good vibe. So
Yeah. I think actually, like, looking back at what Tony was saying and his self-reflection of, like, it in general, um like, not too long ago, like maybe a couple months ago, I sat there having that same, like, existential crisis of, what has Faye done to me?
mhm,
What has she what good has she brought to me? And it was in the midst of a messy breakup that, added yet more change to my life, and just like being confused and being into everything. And it was the darkest mentally that I've been in.
mhm,
And trying to pull myself back up from that has been quite, quite crazy. But Avenger Friends has helped a crap ton. I will tell you that. Like, the people in Avenger Friends.
mhm.
But I deleted my Discord for Faye. And
Really.
I did that one night when I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh, she's done nothing for, like, she people, and all they've done is they've hurt me. and like I'm left feeling hurt and alone again because and if she hadn't have been around, none of this would have happened. Like if I had never become Faye, like this stuff would never have happened. But I was only thinking about the negatives that were happening since I've started streaming and since I've become Faye. So I woke up the next morning and I was just like, I sat with myself in the decisions, and it was a couple days before I remade my Discord. And what I did was I remade it and made it better. And I made it to what I wanted it to be, something that I didn't think that I personally could have done, like I implemented things that I was like, it'd be really cool. I'm just going to do it. Like I'm just going to go for it because in the long run, Faye has legitimately helped me as a person break out of this weird bubble that I'm in. People will look at it and they'll be like, you stay home all the time, you never leave your house, like you don't do this, you don't like go out into the real world. But to me, I'm battling my own social anxiety by doing streaming, by talking to strangers online,
breaking out of your comfort
and
zone.
breaking out of the comfort zone. Exactly. And I would never have been able to do that without Avenger Friends and without streaming in general.
Yeah. So like in everyday life, are you a social butterfly? Because I know me, like if I'm out, for me it's my element. If I'm at work, I'm at my desk. I don't want no one to don't bother me. No, I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm at my desk, got my headphones in, and I'm doing my work and listening to some streams. Yeah. So,
both at work and in I was out with someone. This was about like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I was out and I went to a bowling alley with somebody, and the guy that I was with was very social. Random people would come up to him and I had to leave. Like I left the bowling alley to stand outside, and it was 30 minutes before he came to find me. And by that time I had already called my friend to pick me up because I was like, A, he's forgotten about me, and B, like I can't do this. So I was like, no, I'm good. I don't do well with like being forgotten in crowds, and then also like talking with new people. Like talking with new people in person, I'm like I just want to
overwhelming.
Clam up. It's just not. It's not fun.
See, like I'm very social. I'm very outgoing and everything, but I hate crowds. But I think I hate crowds for different reasons.
Oh.
I'm very paranoid when it comes to crowds because I feel like a fish in a barrel. So I'm very head on a swivel. Like my senses are heightened. Like because there's a lot of shitty people in the world. Yeah. So I'm always looking for that next threat. And I think that's my problem. Like when I'm at the mall or out, like I'm always like, whenever I'm out to eat with like my wife or whatnot, like I'm always like, she knows now, it's almost 7 years in, that I always have to sit looking at the door.
Wow.
And I have to know where my exits are and everything, because my first thing is to, get her out and engage whatever's coming through the door.
Yeah.
And that's just
Would you say... Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Would you say that your job has kind of made you into that mindset?
Yeah. I mean, so before I used to work armored trucks. So I used to carry hundreds of thousands of dollars through malls and whatnot. So that 16 hours I'd be on the road, jumping in and out of the truck, I would always be, head on a swivel, back and forth, because I've had times where I've had to draw my weapon. I've had times where I've had to fucking knock people to the ground and trying to steal the bag from me and money and stuff like that. So being in crowds, I don't like, because for that reason, for being paranoid and this, but a good paranoid, not like something that's like that makes me scared, but something that's like I'm fucking ready.
Yeah.
And it's like, but I'm always like, oh, hey, meeting new people. Like, I love meeting new people. Like,
if this eye's looking at them, the other eye's looking all
correct,
over the place.
Eyes in the back of your head kind of thing and whatnot. If when we ever meet at TwitchCon, like you'll see, like I'm engaged in a conversation with you, but I'll always be like looking around, looking behind me, and it's just so it kind of makes people feel sometimes. Like I've had somebody say it to me, like, "Are you paying attention to me?" Like, "Oh no, yeah, I'm paying attention to you, all right. I'm
watching your.
I'm keeping a tab on my surroundings." Because and it's just I guess it gets very tiring sometimes being on alert 24/7 and never being able to like relax. So like this is like my comfort zone, Like I'm in my house. Like I know everybody that's here wants to be here. You know, like everybody's amazing. You know what I mean?
Except when your wife is standing right behind you.
I was about to say.
You know, but it's stuff like that. So
Yeah.
But like, you know, going back to that, like it's just I'm very outgoing and very whatnot, and like I love being there, and you know.
Oh wait, look, this was Spyver. He said, "Damn, Tony, that sounds so scary, dude. Just to live like that kind of
yeah."
So
like,
it's,
you know, like that kind of life. Like you're always watching out in case something bad's gonna happen.
but I think it's like, but it's a mindset. You know what I mean? Like anybody could be in my mindset. But
Yeah.
I think you'd have to experience what I've experienced to be able to get into the mindset completely. You know,
Yeah.
because you can be paranoid, you can be like, all right, what's going on around me and stuff like that. But to actually be like, you know, like, okay, like I can see behind me, I know what's behind you, like I know where my exits are, like this and that.
Yeah.
Like to be there is like a different story. And it I guess you could say from an outside standpoint, it's scary, but from my standpoint, I'm prepared.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think, and I do, that's why I asked the question, because the line of work that you do, just being you, it's an EMT, right?
No, I do. I'm
Oh.
in federal security right now. I work for the federal police.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry. Uniform, I got mixed up.
Yeah.
So you're kind of bred in that like training. You're bred to be alert. You're in, like you were talking about with the armor trucks and the money. Like you've had instances, people's experiences make them into that mindset, which is why it's like it always fascinates me when there's people that are like, oh, make sure you check this thing that's like brand new item that you get, because everyone in my family, every time they've bought something new, it's like been broken.
Yeah.
And having not experienced a bunch of stuff like this, it's interesting to hear other people's mindsets and other people's like best practices or habits that they have that are from experience and from just like consistent routine of that what they've done. It's like it's kind of you're in the outside looking in, and you can relate, you can understand why they would be like that, but in your brain it just doesn't make sense. You would be like, if I'm in a crowd, like you kind of almost give people the benefit of the doubt, but when you are in Tony's line of work, like you can't give people the benefit of the doubt because you're too trusting. They're gonna mess with you, and you have to punch them.
That's gonna be my problem. That's why I need Tony as my backup. Like his death knell says, I know, because for me, like I grew up in Queens, New York. Like it's not, you know, it's close to the city. It wasn't always the safest place, but as kids, we used to run around. Parents didn't care where the hell we were. We're out.
Dude, when I was younger, same thing.
Do that nowadays? No.
Oh,
dangerous territory. Any kid, and it's crazy. But Death Knell says, I know what Tony's talking about. I grew up in one of the projects in Chicago, and they and the reality of life was either you were alert or you're not going to be around for long. So yeah, like I get it. Like you're programmed to live that certain way, to watch your six, or to protect your family. In Tony's case, like if he's out with his family, of course he can protect the people he loves.
Yeah.
No matter what, even if it's nothing bad happening, it's on the mind.
Like
that's why, like with TwitchCon, that going to TwitchCon would be, you know, like the biggest social situation for us as people, because I'm never in a big crowd like that. If I go to bars, like that's easy. We're in a group chat, we're just all talking, having a good time. But if you go to a place where it's like people come up to you, oh my, hey, what's going on? What's going on? You're meeting so many people, and you're out of your element. For me, anyway. Like, I know, like before this, I'm like, no way can I stream. No way could I ever meet that many people. I'd lose my mind. Like, I can't breathe. What's happening?
Like stuff's familiar to the bar with me too. Like same thing. Like I don't know if you've noticed. Like I always look around. Like because like that's where all like the shit happens. You know, and I always have that. It's a weird trait that I have where it's like I can sense when something's gonna happen. So like whenever I go to the bar with my friends or something like that, I'm like, hey, we got to get out of here now. And like usually when we're on our way out or like about to leave or like just left, something fucking happens every time.
That's a good like sixth sense almost.
It's weird. I don't understand it.
It keeps you out of trouble.
Yeah. So real quick, Ron wanted us, Iron Man Gaming. He said, "This is the Faye. I love your streams, and just like Slev and Tony, you inspire to do better and do better, and always have fun with everything and enjoy life."
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I
do like that. I want 1,000% every stream that I want to have. I want it to kind of be like we're all just chilling out and we're having a good time, because so many times I've gone to like my friend's house and watched them play video games. And it's the exact same thing of what we're doing right now. You're watching us talk about things. And this would be just as if like we were in the kitchen of like your house and we were eating a snack and we were, somebody brought something up and asked a question. And this is the exact kind of conversations that I would want like my close friends and I to have, and we do. And so having these conversations with you guys and being able to open us up, to have these conversations, it creates another level of like engagement with you all in chat. And as Slev and Tony are streaming, like you're getting a little bit more of an insight of who these guys on the inside, aside from their personal alter egos that they put on stream. They're sitting here and they're being real right in front of you, and they're talking to you about their experiences and who they are as a genetic makeup of a person, and you can kind of understand them a little bit better, and that's what's gonna pull you in. Is understanding a person more, because no one doesn't want to watch someone they can't relate to. You always want to watch somebody who has, it's like, I've been through that, like I get that. And so it's like it's nice to be able to have these conversations, and they're super real. It's not fake and it's not scripted. It's everything. It's about our personal experiences. It's about the things that we are on the inside, and as people, we're all different. So there was somebody in Avenger Friends today who was speaking about how she had a birthday and she didn't share it with anybody in the server, and she was viewing
her birthday.
Well, no, she didn't share one with one. Like there was no birthday partner kind of thing. And I actually think that that's a really cool thing. I feel like that makes her like super unique, like that makes you the most unique. Like if you didn't, you literally don't have to worry about giving someone else cake on your birthday. Like
it's your cake.
It's your cake. You eat it. So like you think about things in that kind of mindset. So it's just nice,
Yeah, so like a lot of people were typing in chat like that they saw a lot of people that were afraid to go to TwitchCon and stuff like that. And for good reasons. Probably the same thing, because there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of weird people out there, man. And especially with that e-girl that just ended up dying, getting murdered, a couple months back. I don't know if everybody heard about that. She met up with a guy she thought she was meeting and ended up meeting a guy who had been stalking her and whatnot. And there's just, you guys got to be careful and take care of yourselves, and just don't put yourselves in terrible situations. Like somebody posted on Twitter, I think, Faye, was it you? Was like, everybody who's going to TwitchCon, be careful. And I'm not sure if it was 1,000% me, but I mean, So somebody posted on TwitchCon.
Somebody did, yeah.
And was like, oh, everybody at TwitchCon, be careful. I was like, yeah, be careful. But next year, go wild, because I'll be there. So
it might have been me.
Yeah, I think it was.
I actually don't remember. It might have been, because I go to conventions every year. Like Dragon Con is, I wouldn't say it's as big as TwitchCon, but the crowds are big as well. The only reason that I feel comfortable going to Dragon Con is because the type of people that go to Dragon Con are your type of people. It's the same with TwitchCon, except I think there's a different level when it comes to TwitchCon. But 2 years back, Dragon Con had a huge scare. There was a bomb threat before in one of the major hotels, and we all, as like my group of friends, we were all worried about what that was going to do for like the whole kind of atmosphere of Dragon Con in general. And we would walk back to our hotel and we would see that they'd have cops. So the Atlanta cops would be just there, just kind of standing around in like the main hubs of the areas. And it made me feel better knowing that they took action as a city. Like, and it was this year as well. Like they had patrol on all of the streets that you could access the hotels, and it's safe and it feels safe. And it sucks knowing that there's like the feds like right there and stuff like that. And you may think it might crimp some styles, but it's all for safety. It's all to make sure that everyone has the best time and the safest time, because these people, first and foremost, like, they are online personas.
Yeah.
They are people who could be completely different when they turn them off. And you never know. You literally never know what you're getting in. Agree to meet up with people.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just so lucky that people in Avenger Friends who have met up are genuine and wonderful and good, but we can't say that much for people outside of the community. So
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. So it's
Just
like
opening your heart and opening the trust doors, and sometimes you never know.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the other thing too, is like you want to, when you go there and you go to these places, you want to meet up with people who you know are safe and stick with those people and just be safe, you know, and that's the thing. So it's like when, if you go by yourself and you're just meeting all these people, it's like, I get that can be kind of nerve wracking and stuff like that. But it's like, you know, when you go and you meet up with Avenger friends and you know, cause you've been talking to them for 8 months or 9 months, 10 months, a year, well, it doesn't matter how long, like you kind of know who that person is cause you've been in their streams and you've been, you know, talking on Discord and whatnot. And it's just like, oh, you know, hey, and it's like, you don't miss a beat. You know, now you just have the body in front of you now that you can actually give a hug to and whatever. And like you stick with that person and you'll be good. Yeah. And the thing honestly, the one thing that scares me the most, and I don't mean to scare anybody here because again, my way of thinking is way different than everybody else's, but a lot of bad shit has been happening in California. You know, with crowds and whatnot. And then that big shooting that happened in Nevada, which is 4 hours away, you know, at the country concert. So like a lot of these things like that, like really kind of mentally prepare me for being, cause when I go to TwitchCon, I'm not going to have my gun. I'm not going to have my knife. So I'm going to feel vulnerable, you know? So it's like, I carry a gun every day for work or on or off the job. So it doesn't matter, you know, but it's like, you go over there, it's like, all I got is these now. You know, it's enough, but you can't stop somebody who decides to want to walk in, you know, and do something dumb. And but that's a sad reality of what happens today. You know, you don't want to think like that.
Event as big as TwitchCon, like
Correct.
somebody, it would be a good place to, just because I mean, especially like there's a way that they could manipulate the storyline to be something of a vindictiveness, and there's enough pull in TwitchCon. There's enough people who have, you know, who are big names to be able to cause a ruckus, and it would just be a distraction. It would literally just get us off something else in the news, and it would just be a distraction tactic, and it would be terrible. And it would ruin TwitchCon, you know, like that happens and it's done. It'll be a couple years before it happens again, and or it would be over. Exactly. Yeah. So it's one of those things where you have to realize that it's so great going to TwitchCon and doing everything, but you can't go in with the mindset that these are the people that you know, just because you've talked to them, that you fully know them. You know, you gotta have a little bit of yourself. And which is why I always like, if you're gonna meet up with somebody in like a crowd, like try to meet up with them earlier than a set plan date as well. I did that with Laughing Bear. We went and we got lunch before the big Atlanta Avenger Friends meetup, because I at least wanted to feel comfortable around one person, so that it was a lot easier to be comfortable around everyone else. And so that made it a lot easier.
Go to those events, like for us, like if I go to TwitchCon, I'm going to go as a group. I'm not going alone. Going in a group.
Don't go alone.
We feel comfortable. Yeah.
Like we already planned it. Like I was going to drive up to New York or whatever, or fly to New York as a layover, and we'll all fly out together on the same flight, you know, and get there at the same time and kind of walk into it together.
But just like you said, you met Corp one-on-one. I technically met Dan and Tony, just us three. You know, that's still, it's only three, but you know.
But that's what you got to do. You got to kind of. Like,
at least Dan looks scary.
Dan's just big.
At least Dan looks scary. You know, that's all that really matters. I mean, he's just tall. I mean, if you don't know him, I mean, he looks scary. I mean, you know him, he's a big cuddly bear.
Like I roll up and Disease is walking behind me. It's like, oh yeah, I got my protection, and I got Tony with me too.
But yeah, so it's like it's like everybody's just gonna be careful, you know, and anything can happen at all. And I mean, again, I have a more paranoid based mentality. Because everybody wants to believe that
you fat Disease.
Because everyone wants to believe that, you know, the world's all rainbows and butterflies, but if you want to be a realist, it's really not.
It's okay to be a realist and then like think a little bit that the world is not as bad because it makes waking up a little bit easier. But don't deny when stuff like happens, like just food for thought because things are happening and you gotta be woke.
Yep.
Oh yeah, 100% on that one.
Definitely.
That's all I'll say. But yeah,
Gotta be woke. Love it.
So
TwitchCon.
yeah, I can't wait for
And
that.
everything, yeah.
Maybe that's happening.
I'm
today.
excited. Yeah, I know the fact that there's a good group of people like over there from Avenger Friends right now that are just having the best time. That's really wonderful. So legitimately, I hope that they're having the best time. I hope that they're having a lot of fun and they're enjoying the parties and all of that. I can't wait to do it next year.
Yeah.
2020 is the year.
2020.
So Rainbow said something that actually I didn't say, but it's actually how I operate is expect the worst and hope for the best.
Exactly. You always have you always have to be prepared for what could go wrong.
But again, people who don't do that 24/7, it can get mentally draining. So that can really take a toll on somebody who's not always, head on a swivel and really expecting the worst, but like having a good time and hoping for the best. It took me a long time to gain accustomed to that mentality. So you can't just be like, oh, you know what? Tony said that, maybe I'll start doing it, because it gets really tiring unless you're
I wouldn't be able to do it.
Unless you're really like committed.
I wouldn't be able.
You know what I
I'm
mean?
a very open, trustworthy kind of guy, which sucks sometimes.
And I'm not. I trust nobody unless you prove it to me.
Like I feel like this world needs love. So I think
I'm a planner in the long sense of it. So like if I like I'm doing something and I can't plan out at least 4 possible outcomes of like why something will like how something can go can just either go wrong or like what the outcomes, like the best possible outcomes will be, I start to freak out because like I went on a road trip to New York, like upstate New York, this summer, and the person I went with, it was like we had a plan, and then he was just like, "Oh, we'll do it when we do it." And it was like he was just like,
go with the flow.
And I'm just like, you can't do this to me. You can't.
I need a plan.
We are traveling with my dog.
Yeah.
Like 16 hours. Like you have to tell me that you have a plan.
Yeah.
So I'm like, please.
I need to know it all.
So
yeah.
If we got anything else, I mean, I think we covered a lot, especially going into like mental health area.
Oh I apologize that it ended up going
no,
that
that was. To be honest, I kind of wanted to go in that direction, and I'm kind of glad you brought that up.
I personally, I'm a huge, and like I'm just such a for like mental health in general, because I know especially with like a lot of people inside Avenger Friends and a lot of people just in general, we all are in the same mindset. We're in the mindset that we don't want to let anyone down. We want to consistently be the best versions of ourselves, but those are clashing opinions, like we can't be the best for you if we are not taking care of ourselves, or if you are not taking care of yourself, and that's where something has to give. Like if there's something that's in your life, you have a lot of stuff that's happening right now, something has to give for you to find that balance. And so I am happy and I am a huge advocate for it. My DMs are always open. I will always offer an ear just to listen.
Same.
Or I will offer advice, because I guarantee just because you don't know me or you don't know like Slev or Tony, we've been through a version. Everyone has gone through stuff. Everyone's pretty much felt what everyone is dealing with, just in a different context. Definitely. And so it's a lot. It's difficult to kind of open yourself up to these people who are here right now. But every single person in both of their chats, and every person in Avenger Friends, will respond to DMs if you are not feeling okay. Like the people are there, the community support is there. Everything is there to help you. And so it's in turn, we help ourselves by helping others because it
Oh,
makes
yeah.
us it makes
We'd
us
love to
feel
help.
good,
Mhm.
you know, and so it kind of gives us a little bit more. It kind of gives us a little bit more motivation to keep trugging along.
Yeah, and it's always nice to see like people because I'll get messages from people that are depressed or how thankful they are. I get like two totally ends of the spectrum. So I'm with me being me, like I'm a very positive person, so I'm always going to give that positive outlook. Sometimes they don't take it, and that's fine. I'm not here to jam positivity down your throat.
Exactly.
You're coming to the guy who preaches positivity. If you want someone else, go to that person. I'm sure there's someone else for you because we're all different in how we look at life and where we want to go in life and how we want
Exactly.
to take it on. So I've learned a lot within the last year of who I am, of what I want in life, and I think I finally found who I am and what I want. Like, but that took. I'm 33 years old. You know, like I'm way behind schedule of what I wanted in life, but it doesn't mean I stop. Like I want my goals to hit family, kids, life, just that, and I'm never gonna stop until I get it.
And don't ever stop like growing as a person either.
Yeah.
Like I will
Exactly.
say that you're going to often find that there's things about yourself that you don't like or that maybe you want to change, or maybe there's just something that you learn along the way. Like keeping yourself open to the possibility of becoming a new person, you know, every few years, or just learning else, or just kind of bridging that gap between identifying what you want to change and growing. It helps show that you are able to, like, you're progressive, you know, like
Yeah.
you want to change with people, you know, like you've noticed that there's something that you've seen that you really like in somebody, like that's a
Yeah.
trait or a characteristic that I would really like to do more of, like, you know, and then you keep them around as a person because they will rub off on you. These types
Yep.
of people that offer happiness and positivity, like Slev's a great example of that. Like just being around him in general, it's going to be positive. You're gonna have a positive
Sorry.
conversation.
No, I'm kidding. Maybe too much positive sometimes, but it's who
but
I
it's
am.
gonna but it's
Sometimes.
enough, you know.
Sometimes.
See, like if I talk to Tony and like he's giving like let's just say we get real talk with Tony, I'll tell him all the positive outlooks and he'll hit me with like that doesn't work or oh, yeah, whatever, or I'm not worth it. Like comments like that. And I'm like, how can you say that about yourself? Like I'm not living in your shoes, but I'm like, dude, you don't know what your worth is.
But it's
Well,
just it's like I'm sure Faye can chime in on this too. It's that even though you may see it, you don't feel it at that point in time. You know, so
and it's so dark.
Exactly. It gets real dark, and it's like, all right, you know, like I'm not. So I'll say this out in front of everybody now. Like, Slev, everything you say is 100% correct. It's just at that time, I'm not feeling it. Yeah.
And that is the definition of anxiety.
Yeah.
1,000%. It's the definition of anxiety and depression. It is not, anxiety is not necessarily a feeling. It's a complete like 180 of everything that you're wired to believe. And it kind of just it gets into your nervous system, and it just kind of starts picking apart at everything that you personally, you know, like we're all realistic people. We all have the full understandings. And it's like in the moment, we will feel completely like nothing. We'll feel like nothing. And while we have people there to give us what we need to hear, we can't, for some reason, it's like if it's like I'm trying to reach out to you and I can't touch you. Like that is what it feels like. For me, my anxiety feels like I'm drowning. Like I can almost get to the surface.
Didn't I say that to you yesterday, Slev? Yep.
I can almost get there, but I just can't catch my breath. That is what I've felt like for the past 5 months, because this whole stuff that I've been going through has been insane. And it's like, imagine not being able to breathe for 5 months.
Yeah.
And you have what some people are dealing with. And I will also put it out there because I am very much a huge like thinker of this. But your problems are not bigger or smaller than anyone else's.
Yep. I say that.
I am often a person who will say that what I am dealing with specifically, it's not important because somebody else is going through so much more than me.
Yep.
But it's important
but
to
it's
you.
not true.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. And it's important to me in my sense, and it's important to other people. They will think differently. They will be like, you're just because you think that you're not, what you're going through isn't enough or isn't a lot, doesn't mean that it's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that it's not valid. And that is, if I could leave you with anything today, whether it's you want to see my content or anything, it's that I'm sitting here as a stranger and I fully 1,000% believe that everything that you feel and everything that you are is valid and loved. 1,000%. There'll be nobody else in the world who will tell you that and who will be lying to you.
Amen.
And so just believe that.
That's
Exactly.
beautiful.
And there was one thing Sin said that
That was amazing, actually.
yeah, it was. So Sin goes, you can't learn if you don't fail. People who are successful are just failures that didn't give up.
That's true.
And
There's
she's-
I read a self-help book on accepting failure, and it was interesting because it forces you to think about it in a sense of like, it's like you're reliving those failures. No one ever wants to do that. But how else can you understand how to grow?
Can't appreciate the good unless you felt the bad.
Exactly.
Exactly.
As long as
feel
you
that much better.
As long as you keep waking up every day and pushing forward and at least having somewhat of a thought going, you know what, I'm going to try and make today better.
Yeah.
You know, whether it doesn't happen all the time, as long as you're like, I'm going to try. You know, that's what's going to keep you going.
You got out of bed this morning.
Yep.
That's
You opened your eyes this morning.
That's a lot. Like, that's huge.
Yep.
You know, like you got dressed. Like it's one step at a time. It doesn't have to be all the time, and it doesn't have to be one right after the other. But you set yourself these little goals and you accomplish them, and that drives you to doing more and to feeling better and to feeling more balanced, because that's all that we're all trying to get. We're all just trying to find a balance in our life. Some of us just get hit harder than others.
Yeah.
And what was I going to say? I forgot. Keep going. No, there was something I was. Oh, so for me, so here we go. So the advice that I would give would be make something that you feel is the most important in your life and make that your goal for getting out of bed every day. So for me, it's my family and getting out of bed to go to work and taking care of them. Like, even if it's like, you know, I need to get out of bed for my mom or my dad, or, you know, I need to get out of bed for my friend that's also hurting. It's just like, find something to make a goal to always get out of bed. And I promise you, days will get better. You're going to fall. I'm not going to say that you're not going to fall back into those moods. I like to call them moods. Like, I'm in that mood, you always try and just think of the bigger picture, other than yourself in that point. And I feel like that's what kind of keeps me going in a sense, because if I was just thinking about myself, I probably wouldn't be here right now, to be honest with everybody. You know, you gotta make yourself believe that there's something else to live for.
I agree with the moods comment. I actually was speaking to somebody about that previously, and I was like, just because, so like depression and anxiety is tricky because it is an up and down. It's the full definition of a roller coaster. When it's high, it's good. It feels great. Like you are on top of the world. But the lows hit very deeply. They're low. And it you'll have highs for like a month or two, and then something will happen, or a series of events will happen, and you feel like you've taken 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, because that's just what it is. And so I mean, I agree, it's difficult to get into that groove to where you're, because I've said it, and it's just I just want to be okay. I just want to feel okay. Like I would, if I could scream anything, like I just want to be okay. I want to not feel angry, be happy. I want to not feel like I'm not accomplishing things. Like I want to just be, I just want to be okay. That's
Yeah.
all that I want in life. Like even if I decided to not stream tomorrow or ever, like my decision would be to try to make me okay. And that's like, I think that's what everyone is just trying to get to. They're just trying to get to a position where they're happy with themselves and they're okay. And I legitimately don't feel like that's going to happen some days, but right now, right here, I'm telling you that it will, because even in my crazy messed up mind,
Hey,
I
we're all
do
a little
know.
mad. That's a great.
Yeah. Like I do
Great
know
Mad
that
Hatters once
that I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah.
I just gotta wait it out. The waiting sucks.
Yeah.
Um,
So I wish I can. I don't wish, but like I kind of wish that I could relate to what you guys are talking about.
You
to the
don't.
point of like, I don't, but I do. Like in my personal life, I deal with people that go through it. I'm not gonna mention who, but like very close people to me, and I'm always that person that wants to help or make them feel better because I know that if I allowed myself to fall into depression or gain more anxiety, like I would fall hard. Like it would crash me. So I'm afraid to allow myself to enter that thought process. So I keep my mind focused and I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how I'm doing it, but I don't want to feel like I'm drowning because my whole life I felt like I was drowning. I felt like nothing's ever going to get better. Like I can't pay this bill. I can't do this. I'm moving 10 times in the last 5 years. I'm doing this way. My parents needed money at the time. Like we all go through some crazy shit. And like I said, I'm in a place right now where it's like, no, I deserve happiness. I believe in myself that I deserve this. I deserve to smile. Because a lot of people don't think they deserve it. That's what Tony was saying before. Like he doesn't think he's worth it. It's like you are. We are human. We are born here. We exist. Every single one of us are worth it. Just you need to realize that for yourself because no one's gonna make you feel worth it unless for yourself. So like like that's again, I see the anxiety around me and I'm like, I just want to take it out of you. I just want to. I wish it was that easy. Like anyone that I talk to,
and I'm the same way. Like I said, I put my problems aside. You need help, I'm there.
Yeah.
And it's like
I ooze positive vibes because that's what I truly believe in. Just to even make you smile for 5 minutes. At least I took your mind off of something.
And that's
that
what I
was
do.
bad
What I
in your
do.
life for 5 minutes.
Yeah. I refuse to let anybody anytime anyone has ever like had a mindset or just one of those, like they're out in public and somebody like takes their parking spot and they're just like, ugh, and it's like, but I mean, like, why though? Like just really take a moment to think about it. And it's just like it's not worth it to continue
my spot, damn no.
to have these negative thoughts. And while I will say that we are all here and we are here to help, a lot of times what I have found that personal journeys and personal growth cannot come from anyone but yourself. Like as much as we want to be here and we want to help you, it is up to you to push forward and have that motivation to want to be better. And I know that everyone does. It's just they're afraid to do it because they're worried that they're going to put the effort in and it's not going to equate to anything. And it's just not true. It will. Effort always does breed success, but you also have to have the right people in your corner. Like you have to have the right people cheering you on. You have to have the right people there speaking to you, telling you that you can do it. And you have to actually listen to them. That's another thing. You have to listen to them. You have to be willing to let them in and open yourself up to their words. And you can let them speak and then you can move on from that. Or you can legitimately just be like, yeah, I agree. And then go from there.
And that's the hottest part too. Is like a lot of my chat's been saying is like it's hard to open up, and I can relate to that because I don't like I just told chat like I never tell anybody my story. Like I don't want you guys to think of me as somebody who's not all fun and exciting and comedy like 24/7. Like because the harsh reality of it is like I'm really not. And like a lot of people will like I have trouble opening up. I have trouble opening, and I do. I have a lot of trouble opening up. And like I was like you guys are lucky. Like I never open up to anybody. Like so this is a treat for y'all because now you can see it really is. This isn't me. Like I'll have like my private texts and conversations like with you, Slev, or whatnot, and like nobody knows about that. And like nobody knows about like the stuff that like I say and whatnot, but I think once you can get past the pride, I guess, and I'm very pride driven, to the point where you think you'll appear weak. And I think that's what the thing is for a lot, especially for me, is like I don't like open up to people because like for me, like I'm a very like strong-minded person. So for me to open up my story like this to everybody is like makes me feel vulnerable and weak. And I don't like feeling like that. I don't like feeling like I'm helpless or hopeless or useless or weak or anything. Like I like being like that strong friend that you guys know that will always be there, which I will. 100% no matter what I'm going through, but I don't like I don't like showing this side of me because I don't like feeling vulnerable or weak.
Same. I'm 5'1" and I weigh like 9 pounds, and it's difficult for me because my whole life has been trying to prove that I'm strong and that I can do what everyone else does, and I don't want to be put in a category that like, and it's just my whole life has been searching for validation and acceptance, and
We all want that in a way.
and it's like to not have it be given to me, like there's like even at my old job, one of my old jobs, I was treated, I'll be very careful because I don't think it was on purpose, but I was treated differently by my manager because what I believe is I was a female. It was a construction contracting company. There's not a lot of room for, a female project manager, just somebody who can get out into the field and actually like do it. And they're trying to break it out. They're trying to
I
push
work for
the
companies
boundaries.
like that. That's my company. Like
Yeah.
but we have females in the field.
Well, personally, this happened at a pool party once where I was there and the host was giving, at this point in time I was a service manager, so I was helping out in the service department, and I was routing work orders and stuff. But I got grouped by this guy, this older man,
Groped.
called me like front admin. He knew that I had gotten into service department, and he knew that I was working in with that.
Yeah.
But he grouped me with all the other female ladies in admin, like the receptionists and in accounts payable and in accounts receivable. He literally, in front of the whole company, was like, yes, this is, this is Faye, she's she's one of our front admin people. And I'm like, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's
Excuse me?
not on purpose. I know it's not. It's not on
You
purpose.
just assumed it.
It was a way of thinking.
Yeah.
And so it's I don't think it's because of my size or my gender, but it's hard to not think that. It's hard to not immediately be like, I'm this small
Toxic
female.
masculinity
Exactly, dude. It's
How
like,
sexist.
Even though it's 2019, it's still out there. It's
I'm not
still
a
out there.
feminist, and I'm not a radical feminist. Like, I agree that women do need to have equal rights, but I do agree that like there are women who are just trying to speak loudly and attack, and it's not doing anything. And so I'm kind of in the middle there, where I do know that things need to be different.
Yeah.
And I looked this fact up. August 8th, 2020, or August 18th, 2020, will officially be 100 years since women have been able to vote. We haven't even hit 100 yet.
Wow.
Just to put on this perspective.
Nice little fact right there. I just learned something. Wow.
I looked it up because I was like, when did that happen?
Yeah.
And it was 1920.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I love history.
I do too.
It's gonna be 100 years. Jesus, you're right. Like that's a huge accomplishment.
It is,
in America,
and we haven't. It's not even been 100 years yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that's, I think, the scariest part about it. Is it's just like, geez.
Yeah. It's like, just so you take a step back and it's like, oh.
So I had one question from Iron Man Gaming saying, Faye, where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years?
3 to 5 years. I actually had this question posed to me more recently, because when I was going through my breakup, I had someone ask me like, "Where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years?" And it was in a house with a really good job, um, bigger into streaming, and just at a point in my life where I find myself happy. But I got yelled at because
Yelled at
nowhere in
for
my
that comment?
nowhere in my 3 to 5 plan did I include being in a relationship and like having kids or getting married or being engaged or
So,
doing anything like
how old
that.
are you?
I'm 28.
Okay.
So, but personally, it's because
5 years to be my age.
I don't put that in like a personal goal type of
Yeah.
thing. Like I don't think I need to be gunning for it, you know? Like I think it'll happen when it happens, and I can't plan for it. You know, you can't plan when you're going to be married or engaged, like or have a baby. You know, it's stuff just it
Life needs to be
eventually it
set
just
up for that.
happens. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's like I know that I won't be at my best for somebody unless I've accomplished all of this stuff. So that's where I land. But 3 to 5 years, I want to be in my house, and I want to be enjoying my job, and I want to pretty much be. I would hope close to partner at least for Twitch. I'm gonna give myself a 3-year
partner?
buffer. It's like a good long buffer before that. But I mean, I don't know. I don't often set long-term goals because the future scares me. So
Yeah. And you don't
Well,
need
that
to.
I believe in day by day as well. But
Mhm.
Yeah.
having those future goals, but living day by day. What were you gonna say,
Yeah.
Tony? I cut you off.
Like so like I admire the fact that you don't put being in a relationship and having kids in your 3 to 5 year plan, because you know that if it's gonna happen, it will happen.
Mhm.
You know,
Yep.
if you're out there constantly looking for people and whatnot, it's never gonna happen. Or all you're gonna find are shit guys or girls or whatever situation you're in, and and it's not gonna be fun for you. So
Mhm.
like my mindset is that for people who are still single or whatnot, is that like go out there and make yourself better, and the person that you are supposed to be with will find you.
Mhm.
That's how I feel right now, man.
You know what I mean? So
I'm
like
actually really happy for you, Slev. Like
Thank you.
legitimately, I see how happy you are, like in Instagram posts and stuff like that. Bye, Spiver. Like everything that you are radiating. Like I've not even known you
Yeah.
that long, or your social media presence that long, but
Mhm.
from when you were not with her to where you are now, you can see the change. It's
Yeah.
visible and it
he's glowing.
radiates. It like radiates in there. Like
Yeah.
it and it's not in like an ooey, it's like that's not a
Yeah.
gross way. Like
Yeah.
you see the people who are like on Twitter who are streamer couples that are just like, oh my god, catch me, my boyfriend, like
Yeah.
we're live, or oh my god, I love my boyfriend so much. And it's like, I swear if I hear about you and your boyfriend like, go streaming one more time, I'm just gonna freaking unfollow you.
I'm gonna
Like
throw
it's
up.
annoying. It's like
Yeah.
it's annoying and it's gross because it's not the content that I signed up for. Like,
Exactly.
and so to know like you do it in such a tasteful way, and you can see the love in all of your posts, and you can see the love that you have for her and for her freaking kid. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, like the fact that you were able to just like, you stepped up, and she supports you,
Yeah.
you so much, and
And
she's
she doesn't
a
stream, but she's
presence,
a part of it. Yeah.
exactly. And she has a presence
Mhm.
in your channel without
Yeah.
even needing to be in your chat or
You're
in
right.
your on your channel. And I think that speaks volumes to the type of person that she is.
Yeah. And you're 100% right. When I met her, I met her last year, and I gave her the good old cold shoulder for 4 months, because I was afraid. I was afraid to date someone with a kid again,
You were
and
being
my
dumb.
mom was sick, and I was afraid of doing it. And I said, you know what? Like January hit, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like she's a really good girl, and yet she's still trying. She wasn't like harassing me, but she would like message me, how how's life, how's everything going? And I was like, you know what? She deserves at least a text back for me to go hang out with her, and here we are. And she
Hmm.
supports all my goals, and I've been through many relationships of bullshit, and I learned a lot from them. I don't regret any of them.
Hmm.
I was in them for a reason. They made me who I am today.
Hmm.
And you're like, I'm 33 years old, and now I finally feel like I met the person I'm gonna marry and have kids. But again, I'm not putting any time frame on it. When life happens, it happens. So, but I really I thank you for noticing that because my Instagram posts are not from like mainly for my streaming. It's to show you both worlds. Like
Yeah.
I'm not just Slev on Twitch. I'm also Steve out in the world living a life and doing things like all of us. So
Mhm. Yes, we all have real names. Tony's is actually not Tony.
Technically, it is.
I know.
I mean, technically, it is.
But it's just it's so wonderful to see it because you can I have Tony on Facebook now. Tony found me on Facebook.
that's
don't
it. It's
know
real now.
I don't know why he decided to add me on Facebook.
You
but
popped up on Friends I May Know. I was like, I know that girl.
You did know me. Yeah, that's true. You do. Yeah. So, it's that extra level that you're making with these streamer friends. Like, don't ever be afraid to be your real person outside of streaming. Like if you really enjoy being with the people that you like game with or that you talk to on a daily basis, like break that gap. You break the boundaries of Discord and Twitch and follow them on other forms of social media and talk to them on other forms of social media because that's really the only way that you're going to know these people. Like the only way you're going to really get to know them. If you like legitimately want to call them friends, like IRL friends, this is what you're going to have. This is what you got to do.
Got to break that. Yeah, you got to break that
Because
like I call this like right now what we're doing right now to me is still IRL.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't seem like it, but this is our real life. It's just not in real life. But this is our real life. We are talking right now about real life shit.
TRL.
And
this is my background without a green screen.
Twitch real life.
This is my chair. It's actually green.
Well, what I love about your green.
Out.
Yeah, what I love about it is that when you go live and you do the green screen, your chair blend like you see through the chair. I love that. And you have the galaxy cool stuff. The pizza thing that pops up when the hype and the rates. I love it. Like, so going back to the streaming stuff, I know. Wow, we're going on like this. I love this podcast. It's so good.
Oh, I'm glad that you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
I've had to pee for the last hour.
Does he says meeting Slev's dumbass was fun? Because I jumped in his arms the first time I saw him.
You didn't jump in my arms, asshole.
Well, because we were waiting for you.
Yeah, because we were
You're walking up all, it's just funny because from afar, Disease didn't look that big from afar. Like, I'm walking up to him, like, yeah, it's Disease. I'm getting closer. I'm like, oh my God, he's a big man. I'm like, I'm going to jump into his arms. And I did. I was like, that's me. But no, it was like, and Tony, when you walked up, I was like, dude, like, this is us, three amigos. Like, I feel like I've known you guys forever. Yet you and Dan known each other for 15 years. So Disease did catch me. He did.
Going on 16.
That's crazy.
Disease caught you when I lifted you up like Dirty Dancing.
That's right. You're my Patrick Swayze.
I was.
Time of my life.
I was his Patrick Swayze.
What was her name again? I forgot her name.
Her name was Baby.
That's right, Baby in the movies. I was your baby.
You were Baby. You were Baby.
Asked Tony about the perfect leggings I found for him. He never said. Wait, he said never until he saw him. He loved them. He'll probably wear them again.
I probably will.
They're in the background right now.
They're right there.
They are.
Rob says, I just want to play games and have fun with people. That means everything to me. So when I say I want to play something with you, I mean it because I want to get to know you. See, now Rob is another guy like we've met, and he's just such a good freaking guy. Yeah. You could just, again, like, I feel like everyone in our chat, like, everyone's such a really good guy. We all connect with each other. So I can go through so many names here that I'm like, I would love to meet you guys and love to hang out. And again, like, going back to Rob, like, you could just tell he just gels with you, you know? And that's the thing. You're not going to gel with everybody, but you can still, you find, the people you can gel with.
And you can be an adult about it, too. Like, you can, as long as you understand that.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that you have to like everybody. Like, you don't. Like, there could be some people that you just don't like and that you don't, watch because they just aren't your cup of tea. That's completely fine. Like, that's the beauty of having 800 people in the Avenger.
I can't believe there's that many already.
I know, it's a lot of people. It's more like probably 830 now. How many new people join?
Wow.
But it's like you're gonna find somebody who you enjoy being with and being around. But it might not be any of these big names that are in chat or in Gen chat, or it might not be Slev, or it might not be Tony. Like, these people may not be who you enjoy watching. But just know that like we're gonna support you 1,000%.
Yep.
And if you choose to not do that, it won't
That's
hurt
fine.
our. It doesn't hurt our feelings. Yeah,
We're not
like
a lurk for lurk, not a follow for follow.
exactly.
We just like to support.
We're not a
Like,
1v1er either. Like don't 1v1.
We don't
us,
1v1,
guys.
bro. If you want to 1v1, you can 1v1 this pain.
Well, maybe. Oh, Tony, that's very inviting.
That actually sounds. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Right?
I wasn't supposed to sound.
I'm on my
lovely.
way. I'm about to 1v1 you right now.
In truth or dare, got it.
All right, so if there's no more
Open up for questions.
if there's no more outstanding questions,
Does anyone in the chat have a question for FeyBae?
yeah, if anybody has a question, let me know because I literally am gonna pee myself.
1v1 me. Shut up, Ghost.
1v1,
You kick my ass. And
I'll be back in 20
zero
seconds.
as well. He's got to pee really bad. I was really hoping he had the other leggings on. I don't know if he had two pairs. That would have been hilarious. Trey says follow for follow. No. It'll never get you anywhere.
And it really won't. And that's some like another little tidbit that I will say is don't get hung up on the people who come into your channel and like don't feel like you have to play with them because you want your community to be people who come back, not people who use you for the type of content that you put out. Because as a streamer, you're selling yourself as much as you're selling your content, and you are your content. So 100%. If people are coming to you and you open it up and it's like every day you're doing games with people and like tomorrow you just decide, yeah, I don't want to do that. And like then your views go down. Like don't stress about it because those are not people you wanted in your channel anyway. They are only there for one reason and it's not you. And so like it's a hard pill to swallow when it comes to being a Twitch streamer because everybody wants to focus on numbers and everybody wants to focus on exactly like what can we do to get the most out of everything. But the number one thing you really want is you want that stays there and that supports you and that talks to you. Like you want to chat, like you want to have a chat.
Yeah,
and,
that's the most important thing.
And you want your chat to not be filled with, can I play with you?
Trust me, play Fortnite, that's what's going to happen as a streamer.
I know.
Oh my God, Tony. I want to read out a question that says, Hakeem asked, I'm sure you probably have already talked about this, but what is your favorite thing about streaming, Faye?
Oh, we actually didn't go too deep into like my favorite.
She told us about streaming and why she streams, but not her favorites. So
my favorite thing about streaming is really just being able to engage with all the different people that come into chat. Like being able, like even if I'm on someone else's channel, like if they give me permission to read chat and to like interact with chat, like being able to speak with others and just like get to know them on like a level and present myself in the best kind of format for you. That's really my favorite part. Like just letting you guys in is something that I really enjoy because it helps you understand me and it helps you understand like why things might be the way that they are, like maybe I'm doing something that you don't sure like why I'm doing it, but then you like talk to me and then now you understand. And so it offers that little layer. And it's like, I love being able to sit there and talk with you guys. Like, I'm not a just chatting streamer. I don't think that I could sit for like 3 hours and just like stare at a camera and talk. But
you just did.
Oh, that's well. You guys were here.
Going about 2.5 hours.
You guys were here too. You can't. It was you guys. But it's just like.
You mean what? Like doing it alone? Like just
doing it alone. Just like myself waiting for chat, like to speak to me.
Yeah.
Like, but I do enjoy having these conversations
of course.
Because they're they feel more real and it makes it feel like I actually am getting to know you all.
Yeah. No, yeah. Then this is like me and you're like, I've known you for a while, but I've never had like this interaction with you. Like. Like we usually stream around the same time, so I never really, like I'm in your chat every now and again. I always give you a lurk when I can, but like I never got to actually talk to Faye. So like this is why I was so happy that we got to. I feel like everything happens for a reason, so I believe you're in this podcast tonight for a reason. Ice did not get sick for a reason. That's not what I'm saying.
But everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason. So it was like I'm telling you, it was such an honor to talk to you, and I feel so much more connected.
I'm the one who's honored.
I definitely feel more connected to you through this.
Yes,
I got to know you more. The chat got to know you more. So it amazing.
Well, thank
Anyone
you.
else have a question? Wait, I have a botch
Peach
has one. Unless you want to.
Peach had one. Peach said, what is it? She was like, Faye, can I slide in your DM about life? Question mark.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually was gonna reach out to you, Peach, because I know that you're going through stuff. So please feel free to message me because I've been wanting to talk to you about it too.
There you go. Go botch.
Botch says, I have a question for you, FeyBae. What's the hardest thing you think, in your opinion, when it comes to streaming / content creator, either starting or wanting to keep doing it?
For me personally, more recently, the struggle has been to keep doing it. Just because life does get in the way. Life is a bitch when you really get down to it because especially with like if you're like me and you like to plan things and when things don't go awry or when things don't go as planned, that's when your whole body breaks down. Like I'm just like, oh my god, things didn't go to plan.
Yeah.
It's like I almost paralyze myself when
Well,
it
you
comes to
stated
that.
before you're a planner.
Yeah,
so
I'm a
it's
huge
gonna
planner.
get to you. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's terrible. It's actually the worst. So in the beginning, it wasn't necessarily starting. It's to keep going because you're in the beginning and everyone does it. You focus on those numbers. You focus like especially just if you're just beginning now and you're starting in Avenger Friends, like I it's kind of like it's a hard reality, but you're not going to start off with that many viewers right away.
Mhm.
Like just because you're new and you have a little bit of connections doesn't mean that it's going to really benefit you yet. Like
Correct.
and you can't rely on things as well.
Yeah.
Which is why I will always to the end of my year preach about building your own community because if for some strange reason, like God forbid, don't smite me down now. Like Avenger Friends goes away, like Avenger Friends goes away tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like where are we going to be at? Like are you here because you feel obligated by Avenger Friends, or are you here because you enjoy the content that you're watching?
The biggest thing.
That's the biggest question, to be honest.
Between a streamer community and a community that's built from a streamer. Like it's the difference between you wanting to be here and you wanting to support the person versus wanting to support the community.
Yeah. Now, see, I take what you just said, like the content. Are you here for the content, or do you feel like you're obligated? Like for me personally,
You hit a nerve.
Partner push. I get it. People are expected to try to lurk me, try to help the goal of the community. But in my heart, yes, I appreciate every lurk, but I also want you to enjoy the Slev show. I don't want you to be here just because you have to be here. Like I want you to fall in love with the content and get to know me as a streamer and as a person. So that's where I tend to battle myself, where it's like I really hope everyone really enjoys what I do and not just feels obligated.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was the thing I brought up yesterday. If I can just kind of dance around it, Slev. Like I texted Slev yesterday, and I was like, hey man, is this still fun to you?
Yeah.
Like I wanted to know if streaming, because I know being the partner push and having to put on a good show every day, and like he wants people to enjoy his content, and like he said, he wants to know like people are there for him and not just because they have to. And I like, again, me being a friend, I reached out and was like, hey, I just want to make sure you're still doing this for the right reasons. You're still having fun doing this. And his response, again, I mean, sure you guys all know, is absolutely 100%. Like the kid is beyond a level of thinking that I could ever be on when it comes to positivity, and it's unbelievable.
It's sickening.
It's borderline sickening to me. Yeah, it's borderline. When I said I was going pee, I actually went to go throw up real quick. But
oh my god.
But no, it's like it's unbelievable. Like to the fact that like you can be so positive all the times, and I envy that. And I'm sure a lot of people in here can, because you like even like with me, like when something's bothering you, like we don't know. You're always here. You're focused 100%, and in order to do that, it takes a special kind of mind, but also to kind of put that in the trash bin and just allow and don't let it cloud your positivity is really, really envious, in the sense of like, I wish I could be that kind of person. And like, I really admire you for that.
Thank you.
And
I can help it anyway,
and I'm sure a lot of people in chat,
though.
you do.
Like I 1,000% believe that you do. Like I know, like I mean, and it's I read people and I analyze people. I analyze everything, and I'm a super duper, like, I like knowing how people tick. I know that that it's stressful for you because I know you feel like you've got a, like, almost like a legacy to live up to. And I know that it grinds on you because you it's just it's human nature to
Yeah.
question where you are at.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when you get to a point in your streaming career, or just in a point in anybody's career, like where you're about to hit top, or you're about to go over that, that precipice, and you're about to fall deep into something that you've signed up for, but you're not sure if you're quite ready for it, and you're not sure how you got here. And this is like the whole, you start to question exactly like what it is about you that people enjoy and watch. And I'm going to tell you right now, like, it is your personality.
Mhm.
It is who you are as a person. I do not watch this celeb show. I don't keep you on lurk because I feel like I need to. I do it because when I do have times to sit and watch your streams, if I don't go to sleep, it is because of the content that you put out. It is it's it's funny because it's like I do it because I like enjoying watching, try to keep up with chat and literally
struggle hard.
stop in your tracks everything that you're doing, and then you
get my
just
team
stop
killed.
and you're just like
Yeah.
and it's
'Cause I wish I could read every comment. You're right. Yeah.
and that's in that it's something that you'll figure out when you
Yeah.
get bigger, and when you start to realize that there are things that are going to have to go away. Like when Slev becomes partner, and I'll be the bearer of bad news, he won't be able to read everyone's messages, and he
I
won't
can
be
barely
able
read as it
to
is.
He can barely read as it is.
but he's
Oh
not
my
going to be
God.
able to keep up with it. Like it's just
Yeah.
it's to sit there and think that you're going to be able to do it. That's unrealistic, because eventually, if the goal is there, you're going to have a ton of messages and you're going to miss all of them.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But you're doing it right now, and you're providing great content for people right now. But I want, it's more so I'm worried about you setting expectations for yourself for the future. And that's where
And he
it
does.
lies. And that's great.
And he does.
And so just literally keep doing what you're doing, because it'll get there. It might be slow moving, and it might just be you've hit a wall, or you might feel a certain way, but it's not because you're not putting out the best that you can do. It's other outside factors. You won't always have control. And that's
And
terrible.
everybody hits that wall. Everybody.
Yes.
Everybody hits that wall where they wake up like me or, Faye, you want to take a break. And it's okay to take a break. Even though I don't believe what I'm saying. It's okay. Do as I say, not as I do. It's okay to take a break.
You've taken breaks.
I have, but I've also hated doing that. You know what I mean? So
like disappearing from Twitch for a little bit.
Yeah, like I hate it, man. Like I love the community. I love everybody who stops by. I love everybody who hangs out, and just to have to step away from that, like I said, it's just it's like heart-wrenching in a way, because I know, like, from everybody's comments, like I put a smile on people's face and I make them laugh, cry, and whatever, and it's like I can't do that today. Like I have to go back to bed. I have to do something else, and like. And it's okay. It's okay to take a break. It's okay if you're not 100% to just, if you're home and it's during the time you regularly stream, it's okay to take a break, and it's okay to just, hop into other people's chats, hey, how you doing, and start talking that way and networking, and, and still be within the community, but not putting out your own content, but helping support the people that you love, and that also help and support you create yours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. It's the hardest lesson that any of us as people have to learn, is we do this because we love engaging with you. We love talking to you, and we love sitting here, and we love playing games, and we love, your reactions to what happens when we play games. And it's difficult for us to sit here and be like, we're going to take some time. Like I have physically one time it was so bad. And I know that, I know Spiver's gone, but he was there when I posted in my Discord. I was like, I'm going live. It's going to be for 30 minutes. It's going to be to tell you everything that's happening right now. really going to engage with chat because I'm probably going to be bawling my eyes out. And what did I do? I was bawling my eyes out while I was telling everyone that what was going on in my life, because this was the reason that I wasn't streaming. And I was like, I need to take a break. Something has to give. And it needed to be. But I needed to be real for my viewers because there's no other way for them to understand what I'm going through if I don't let them in. And that's that's like what I enjoy doing. I like letting people in because if I don't, I feel like I would go mad. I don't have anybody IRL right now to speak with about my problems. And so I lean on a lot of the people in Avenger Friends, because whether I'm leaning on you for like laughter or just like funny moments or positivity, like I do have people I lean on for my emotional stuff. And it's like I really just I need it. You know, I just fucking need it.
And that's the beauty of it, is that you have all those options, all those friends that are going to be there for you for different reasons.
Yeah.
Like if you need someone you can cry to, you have that person. You need someone to give you a laugh, you have that person. So that's a really good thing to have in the community that, you know, that the Avenger Friends does offer, because there's so many different kinds of people that you can just connect with.
Yep.
Exactly.
Okay, I gotta ask this dumb question.
Oh, here we go. Was it from Ghost?
Very dumb. He says, "Can you 1v1 him?"
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I ignored it, and he still decided to say, "Ask her, please."
In what game? In what game? Because I don't play
depends on the game. Depends on the game. I forgot I have an Iron Man. It's all good. Any game you want. IRL.
All right, let's fisticuffs.
You should Rochambeau him. You should Rochambeau him.
Part of the modern world, we spend so much time online, we get disconnected from the real world. So yeah, Bog says that, and I definitely can agree with that, because ever since I was always a big social media guy. I enjoy what social media is, even though it does disconnect us from the real world. But like even my girlfriend said it, like, don't let everything consume you.
Yeah.
Like, don't be so consumed over it, because I do feel a big responsibility sometimes where, yes, I might be a partner push, but like whoever follows me from the family, I must follow them back, and I must support them. And then no one ever makes me feel that way. That's my own brain. That's me saying, I want to do this for them. Like, they're here. I want to give it back. But I'm sometimes where I'm like, you know me, I'm Slev, so my brain's already fried. So it's even more fried with smoke coming out of my ears. And I'm like, I really want to do the best I can. And I know we all feel pressure. Like Tony does it too, where he feels like he doesn't support enough. And he does when he can. So it's like, yeah, everyone that's out there, it's like, you guys do the best that you can at any given day. Never feel
and that's enough.
overwhelmed. Yeah, that's enough for you. It'll help you wherever you got to get. It might not be as fast as you want to get, but it's going to be at the pace that it's supposed to be for you.
Yeah. So. And don't try to half-fast it either, man. Like, if you are doing it and you're consistently hoping that you can do more, you need to take a step back, and you need to just like zero it in. You need to focus it on something else, because what you're doing is too broad, too much. You know, you're putting too much pressure on yourself. Try focusing on something a little bit less, because that's the only way that you're going to feel a little bit better. Because it's like, if I focus on this one thing instead of 9 things, then I can at least get this one down. And then now it's not 9 anymore, it's 8. And you keep doing that until it's smaller and it's smaller. And you can leave the big problems for last, or you can leave them for first. You could try to tackle something. But the quickest and easiest way for you to find this in your life is to look at it, and it's like, what can I change right now? Like, what is causing me distress, and what can I change right now? And if it's possible, great. If it's not, the only thing that you can do is just accept it. Like, you can accept that it's just not possible right now to do anything, and that you gotta wait. And it sucks, and sometimes it's a little bit harder to do that. But you've got a strong community. You've got a strong freaking community here that will help do the waiting for you.
Oh, yeah. Do you have any questions on your side?
I got no questions over here.
Any questions, last minute questions? See if anybody has anything else. I support you because I freaking love you, dude. Same for Tony and Faye, Peach, Sin, Dre, and so many more. Rob, I know, man. Rob, like I said, Rob is like one of the, not really new to the Avengers, but one of the newer peeps that joined, and
He's dove in. He's literally
dove right
head
in.
first.
You're right. And I've seen that. I'm going to go out and say Spud Gaming, another one who only joined in July, and the guy's already putting up 30 viewers a stream. And that's because people love him. He connects. He's out there. And there's so many people I've seen, like, they join. If you're going to join the community and just sit there, I'm sorry to say you're not going to grow it. That's just reality. I'm not saying you're going to get a lurk for lurk, but you like you said, you're FeyBae. People remember FeyBae. So it's like you become a name. They remember, like, oh, FeyBae's on, cool. You know, like the real Fat Tony. He's going on. I want to check out the real Fat Tony. He's a name. You got to make yourself a name, and that's what I've seen so many people do, and it's a beautiful thing. So yeah, but Stin's another one. Stin is another one who I see out there supporting so many. Every day.
1,000%.
Fozzie says,
Stormbreaker. I want to say Stormbreaker. I'm sorry. Stormbreaker Pirate, also very, very new. From Australia, still lurking everyone out at night. It's and we're like, that's dedication to the support and the love for the family. So what are you gonna say?
Fozzie says, how would you go about making time to stream, and how do you make a good schedule?
So personally, what I've found in my like genetic makeup is stream schedules feel like they start to feel like more like strings that I don't want to follow. But the beauty of like when I say it's like said about making a community for yourself, like the beauty is if you don't have a schedule, the community you make still is going to be there and it's still going to be good. Now, if you do want consistency, you are going to create a schedule. The best way to do that is just to start with one day. Start with one day a week that you know for a fact
that's your
that
day.
You stream, that and it's your day. And then it can grow from there. You know, that's all it takes. It just takes one day. The more in the routine you get, the easier it's going to be for you to add to that routine.
That's the perfect answer.
Yeah.
Because it took me a while to figure out mine. Like I've had many different schedules, but I do believe it is important for the Twitch world to have a schedule. Also to be active on social media. Like Twitter's my best friend. I love Twitter. Like to be as customized. Like I said earlier, Tony's the king of retweets. But like I love to customize my tweets the way I like it, and to give out my shout outs, but also support my stream and all that stuff, like to show what's coming to the stream. I think it's important to do that, to become personable as well.
Absolutely.
Because I see people that only post when they're going live. So it's like it takes away the you?
Sometimes.
Tony?
Sometimes, most of the time.
You retweet the world, so it doesn't matter what you're doing. Like even if you post that, you're still doing something else on Twitter that's supporting many others.
Okay.
Just take the compliment, damn it. You can never take a compliment.
That's another thing of advice I want to give is as a streamer, you're going to have to deal with people telling you how awesome you are.
No.
Yeah.
Or getting
I won't do it. I won't do it.
Have to deal.
No, not gonna do it.
You're gonna have to deal.
No.
All three of us sit here and we're just like, if I swear to God, if you shout me out one more time, I'm gonna punch you in your stupid freckle face.
I'm gonna punch you in your stupid fucking face. You just fucking wait. You shut me out one more goddamn time. I swear to God, at TwitchCon, I'm gonna fucking slap you so hard in the ass.
Oh my God.
Tell him.
I heard.
Tell him.
There's proof. It hurt. King Ray says, I reply and retweet a lot, but I most of the time forget to tweet out that I'm live. So he's out there retweeting everyone else and not even looking out for his own stream.
I swear to God.
Dedication to the support.
My self-promotion is atrocious. If I could tell you one thing about being a streamer, it's self-promotion, and I can't. I just don't. I don't use my Twitter to self-promo very often.
Yeah.
I self-promo big things that happen, but most of the time I'm rambling about my life on Twitter. So you want to know more about Faye?
Like I said, you're the personable side of it. Like that's why my Instagram is more personable. Like I like it to be about my life, and Twitter's more about like networking, but also making it fun. Like I love posting GIFs to my tweets or putting on GIFs. They're the best.
Oh my gosh,
I play the internet. I like
I'm a diva, all right? That's what it is.
My name's Steph. Hi.
Yeah, Tony. But like, yeah, I love that about it, and it's so much fun to get creative with it and to show your personality through it. You know?
Yeah.
but I do believe it's important.
Yeah.
Streamers and all that. Shut up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Oh my god! All right, we all gotta back up. Look, now I get called a bot. Great.
Yep,
3
bot.
bots from Sisu. 3 of us looking like Slev. Unbelievable. But all right, chat. Does anyone else have any last second? Well, this is almost a 3-hour podcast. Wild, man. Wild.
Well,
huge tip: get yourself a stream deck, and you can program a button that would automatically tweet out. Oh, that's true.
Stream decks
That's
are
true.
good, but they're
I did not
also
know-
expensive.
Oh yeah, that's another one. Save up for it. It's one of my goals. Like
I got one.
Like again,
you can
just
use your
like you were saying
phone.
earlier. What?
You can use your phone.
I told you it didn't work. I tried.
God,
to
you're
connect
such a
Streamlabs.
bot.
How am I the bot when my phone doesn't want to work? I gotta get a new phone.
iPhone 6
Oh yeah,
ass
Dibs has a question. I'm
motherfucking
sorry.
having.
Well, I'm gonna read off Dibs. Sorry, Dibs. Post it one more time. Oh, see, Storm says I only met FeyBae recently. I just said FeyBae, and he just said FeyGameplay recently, and I look forward to watching the streams. Heck yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Dibs, if you can repost. Oh my god, the bots are coming in. Oh, Hakeem's dropping the crying star. Wait, what is happening? So Dibs, where's that question? I must have missed it. All right, now Stin's saying I can't read. We have bots and can't read in the chat. Rob says the app. Oh. Dibs, we're waiting for the question. Might as well just scroll up maybe.
We're waiting in anticipation.
Where is it? Slev wrote a long question above. I'm just gonna roll up. Where is it? I really would like to read it if it's long.
Death Knell, I don't
Who is
really
it?
have a schedule, which is
It
terrible.
was Dibs.
But catch me after October 1st.
Love you, Iron Man. Yeah,
Yes.
October 1st, that 24-hour stream, right?
Well,
Wait,
the
what-
12th is the
12th is
20
the.
12th is the 24-hour stream. So if you definitely want to see me live, for 12th through the 13th.
Yeah, after we end, I'm gonna do. You sent it again. Where did you send it? Where did he said I sent again? Where? Am I blind?
You might be. I don't see it.
I don't see it. He says it must be a delay.
Oh, wrote a long question above. No,
I don't see it.
I don't see it either. All I see is I have a question. Are we taking questions, guys? And then there's nothing in between that.
Yeah, Dibs, where was it? Well, Hakeem has one, so I'll make sure if you post it again, Dibs, we'll definitely get the questions in. Here's a question for all 3 of you from Hakeem. If y'all are planning on going to TwitchCon, what are you looking forward to the most?
Seeing all the peens.
Ooh. Yeah,
Yes, you would.
meeting everybody, you
Oh,
know, like
Put
just
on your.
and just like I wanna initiate like a flash dance. Think we could pull that off.
A flash dance? I don't know. That'd be
No.
An
amazing.
Avenger Friends flash dance.
Nope.
I'll be
Tony's
the
just-
center
just
stage. I
nope.
would love to
Nope.
do that. No one's seeing your question, Dibs. Is it invisible? But yeah, my favorite thing, would be meeting everybody and just getting the experience of TwitchCon. Like, I would really hope by the next TwitchCon 2020 we have an Avenger Friends panel, like a station that we can all meet up at. That'd be really cool. I don't see the question, Dibs.
It's not there.
Why isn't it posting? Well, Avenger Friends flash dance doing the Thriller dance. That'd be amazing. Out of nowhere,
That would
just
be
drop
cool.
it. And...
Sin said she's been dancing since she was 5 for her first job as a choreographer. Let's
Wow.
go.
Nice.
If it's too long, you want to divide? It must be too long then. You can expect me to read this?
Do you want me to read it
Or
for
out
you?
loud?
I'll
No,
help
I'm
you.
kidding.
I'll help
We're all
you.
here to help. We're just
Twitch
here
on
to
Phonics. Twitch on Phonics.
I saw your
Botch's
question, Botch. He's got a heavy question.
Why do you think, despite the online world of gaming, YouTube, etc., being a huge thing, that people still don't view friends over the internet as real, as face-to-face friends? I don't believe in that anymore. It's 2019. I believe
think
that any
yeah.
friends.
I think
They are
older
your
generation thinks
Yeah.
that a little bit differently, but I think that they don't see they don't see what we experience. Like they view us as we're like here and we're like online. I'm staring at a computer screen, but like you guys are somewhere else, like, you know, so it's a little bit different. Like, I also state that when I meet somebody in person, that's when they become IRL friends. And just because you guys are all online doesn't make you not like my friends, you know? It just puts you in a category of people I would like to meet one day so that you guys can become IRL friends, you know?
Exactly.
Correct.
The question actually, I had to copy and paste it from Discord. All right, it's a long one. How do we express to our significant other that we truly care about? Here we go. I'm actually, yeah, this is a good one.
This
How
is
do we
great.
express to our significant other that we truly care about streaming and that it's a huge part of our lives and that that it is important to us personally that we continue on and stream? I'm asking this because lately it's been hard for my wife to understand why I'm so passionate about streaming. It's been hard for me to articulate. Ooh, I got that right. It to her. She kind of just puts it down sometimes, and it hurts me because I work so hard and just kind of want her
To be proud.
Oh, where's the proud? Oh, it broke it up. To be proud, I'm just wondering. It's a good one.
I mean, that's very interesting because a lot of times
Fight with them.
the frustration between like your significant other is just a breakage in communication. Like either there's just something that is not being like I don't want to say it's on her or I don't want to say it's on either party, but there's somebody in this dynamic that's not fully understanding either side. You might not understand why she is so upset about it, and she might not understand why it really does mean so much to you. You know, like she might view it as something else than you view it. And that's a lot of times when things get skewed is because when you're in a relationship with someone, especially when you've been married to someone for so long or just been married in general, it's very easy to assume how your partner is going to react or assume how they're going to, to do stuff, like it's oh, she's not going to understand because every time I try to talk to her something like this before, it's turned out this way. But then that just kind of deters you from trying another approach, and it deters you from trying to understand it from the other person's point of view, the other partner's point of view, like trying to offer more so trying to for this specific example, your wife might not fully understand why you believe that streaming is so important, but you also need to ask her why what she's missing or what she is viewing it as, because that's where you can kind of crush that. Like if she's got an assumption about it, then you can go ahead and you can put her mind at ease. You can tell her like it's not this, it's not that, it's a passion, it's more than a hobby, it's something that I would like to make a career. And if she doesn't support you in that, then that's another part of the conversation that you need to have, like, but you have to get to the root of it first. You can't just you can't just sit there and assume that she's going to say one thing or assume that the way that she feels about it is one way or the other, because you might not know, she might have a completely different reason that you didn't even think about of why she's feeling a certain way about it. And
100%.
and so it's all about communication, and it's all about not taking the person, not taking someone for granted, and not, not assuming the way that they're going to respond. Of course, I'm single, so what do I know?
Well, that's all right. Like you did say that your ex got you into streaming, so at one point you were the other end. Like for me, it's like I was telling you before, my girlfriend doesn't stream. She's not a gamer. Yeah, she plays her Kingdom Hearts, like just to relax, but she also doesn't understand. But she doesn't understand what the streaming is, but loves my passion for it.
Mhm.
She supports that part of the world of it. Like as long as like I'm not just sitting here streaming instead of going out
Yeah.
to lunch or to dinner with my girlfriend, like instead of like, babe, I gotta stream. Like, no, don't make it
Don't do
about
that.
that. Yeah, don't do that. Like that's why like I have a schedule. I'll break the schedule if I need to go do something with her and do this or like do that. And it's called compromise. You guys, a little give and pull type of thing,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See,
I
Tony's
was about to
married,
say,
so-
I was like, I'm wondering if Tony is going to speak up about
Yeah,
that.
I was
or
I'm
if he's
not-
going to
for last.
critique anything
I'm not gonna say much, but I'll read what my wife put in chat.
Well, that's a good one.
Ah,
Oh,
that's
good one.
perfect.
She goes, I'm guilty here. Two sides to it, but once I watched the stream, got involved, I realized the amazing community built here. You all are amazing, and I'm happy I'm involved in the stream and getting to know all of you. The support you all have for one another is irreplaceable.
And that's all that it is. I mean, I
She
agree.
didn't realize that at the beginning. She thought I was
Yeah.
just kind of wasting my time.
Yeah. Gaming.
But once she started getting, because she wasn't involved, and like my family was the same way, so I don't blame her. Because like my sister, my parents, they really didn't understand what I was doing and why I was spending all this money on this stuff, and you know, and why I did this instead of like going out and like doing things all with like my friends that I haven't seen in a while, because I don't feel like going to the bar. I don't feel like, going, I'll go out and hang out with my buddies if they want to sit by a fire and have a couple beers, but I don't feel like going to the bar anymore. Like I've lost that interest. So I'd rather just do this. And she didn't understand that at first. And then, things happened and she started getting involved in my stream, and now she wrote that, seeing how she sees now what I see and what I feel, in order to like be in the same mindset as me now. And going back to Dibs's question, honestly, it took a long time. I mean, I've been streaming over a year, and it wasn't until just last month that she started getting involved, which I'm ecstatic about. That she's like, I have an emote made for her and everything and whatnot, and it's just it's amazing. Like she's made
part of it.
Yeah, she's a part of it now, and that's I couldn't have asked for anything better.
Yeah.
And the fact that it took that long, it was a lot of fights, a lot of misunderstandings, a lot of questioning on why you're doing that instead of doing this, So it was, but now she sees why. Because this is more than just a hobby. It's a place to get away, get your mind off IRL, and meet real people and have a good time. So I don't have a magic saying that you could say to your wife, Dibs, but all I can tell you is that it wasn't easy. And if maybe you have a conversation with her, or maybe get involved, like ask her to get involved in your chat, create an account for her, like do the things that that somebody who wants to get into Twitch, like help them out in that way. Like, babe, I'll make you an account. I'll show you what to do. Like, I'll walk you through everything. Like, this is what happens. You can type in chat. Like, I respond and this and like, and really get into it with them.
Yeah.
Like mirror your interest onto them. And if they love you as much as they say they do, they'll cope to the fact of, okay, you know what? Let me try this out. And if it's like, hey, now I understand why you're doing this. It's not my style. Okay.
Yeah.
But as long as they understand why you're doing what you're doing and can see it firsthand by making them, like my wife's name, I made Mrs. Fat Tony, like, you can do Mrs. Dibs, whatever, like,
Mrs.
like
Dibs, what Botch said.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? So it's like, you want to
mirror. Does she want to be a part of it? Like that's the
the thing.
But that's the conversation too.
Here's
it's
another important thing. Yeah, God, sorry.
It might not be like, I mean, it could be either side of the coin. It could just be a miscommunication to why she just might not understand, or it just might be that she just needs to get involved to see exactly how passionate you are.
Correct.
Like there's two sides to it, but none of it is going to happen if you don't talk to her, or if you don't communicate, because that is the main point of everything. Like you got into a relationship and you got married to her because you love her very much and you want her to enjoy things with you, So this is like a test. Marriages all have tests, and everything that you go through is gonna just bring you guys closer together. So don't worry about it. It'll definitely resolve, but it will take some work to get there.
So I was gonna say also, this is an important part. Let's just say you're married. Like, I'm not sure how long Dibs was married to his wife before he started streaming, but like, were you streaming before the marriage, or did you start streaming when you were already married? Were you bringing a whole new part of whole new thing into the marriage.
Something that's
So,
not
like,
necessarily signed
yeah,
up for.
with
like for me, like I met my girlfriend. I was already streaming for a year and a half, so I told her what I'm doing. I told her I'm never gonna stop. I enjoy it so much, and she either had to accept it or just say this isn't gonna be for her.
Mm-hmm.
So there we have our battles. No, it's still gonna be battles, but if the relationship is worth it, you're gonna fight through it. You're gonna support each other.
so the
Yeah,
thing with
not streaming before could
Yeah,
definitely
wasn't streaming
it,
before.
it. You're bringing a new element into
Yeah,
the relationship that if I could be as like a female, like you're bringing an element that takes you away from your marriage, from your relationship. It's not necessarily on purpose,
Mhm.
but you're adding something new into the marriage that she's not included in, you know? Like it's something that's separate. So it's more so one of those like she's more so probably wondering why, being included probably is gonna solve all the problems. She probably just wants to feel like she's a part of the streaming world that you have.
Mhm.
so with in my situation, I've always been a gamer. So I've always come home from work and played video games and whatever, like, cause like I used to work second shift. So I used to work 2 to 10. So when I came home, she was always asleep. So I would game till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning regardless. So the only thing I really added to it was a camera and a mic, in a stream system. So like from my point of view, it's now I actually have a schedule that I like to stick with. Like she got home from work at 7:30 tonight, and like I was like, "Hey babe, I got an hour. We got to stop the podcast." And now she understands. Before it was before it was like, why are you doing that? This and that. But like,
take care of this.
Yeah. And that's when my schedule is hectic. So I'm going back to a regular schedule. So now we have all day tomorrow. We're going apple picking. Like, so I
You
spend.
apple picking too?
Yeah.
So am I.
Nice.
We should just go together with the driver's long.
Yes.
I'll come too.
But
yes, come on, all of us, let's go.
Apple picking.
But now I spend my days off with them and then stream at night when the baby goes to bed, and like you guys have seen some nights she comes down and sits over here and has a couple beers with me, and like I even got her on the keyboard playing Fortnite, like, so it was like it was great. So it's a challenge. Especially if you're doing something that you love to do that your significant other doesn't see as a priority.
Yeah.
I feel like Biz or Dibs, and like 1,000%, something that could be really cool for you to do is to like do a cameo stream. Have her sit in your chair.
Bruno did that.
And play a game.
Rated me earlier. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good.
Girlfriend streams now.
And play that game and have her interact with your community and make her a part of it, because with a new baby and with the marriage being 2 years old, like, and you brought streaming into everything, she wants to make sure that you're still you're fully in it, like I think it's more so a reassurance. It's not necessarily that she's like trying to nag or anything like that. I think she's just trying to make herself be a part of something that you like, when you get married, to experiences with them, you want to share things with them, you want to do things together. So she legitimately just wants to feel like a part of your world. So I would have her sit in your chair and I'd have her play a game, and it's going to be terrible, and you're going to be like, oh, and you're probably going to get annoyed at some point in time, but try to find the positivity and the hilarity in it. Like, try to have fun and enjoy it, and I know that she will appreciate you for it 1,000%.
Ray says Onyx is his gamer girl.
I know.
It's pretty hot.
Can Snow Mexicans be a gamer girl?
Yeah.
They allowed to?
Someday I hope to find my gamer girl.
All right, Keem says, I have a small comment on that. I am not married or anything, but I have started a new relationship, and she is in the Avenger Friends, and she is a streamer. Trust me, Keem, I know. I have played some games with her, and I have seen that streaming does for her, and honestly, it makes me want to get back into it more. But the only thing that's been hard is my schedule, and I can't get a consistent schedule with work and school and everything else going on in my life. Well, the good thing is, Keem, is that you're supporting her. throughout her stream. Like even though you can't stream as much right now, you're still watching your girlfriend now grow her channel and being proud of that. So it's not a negative. Like you'll get there, man. Like you'll get your schedule to where you need it to be, even if it's once or twice a week, just like they said earlier. Just keep on supporting her.
Yeah, and
Wicked
it's
says his wife used to hate games, but now she supports him as well. I always see her on his streams.
yeah. So I agree. Like, it's you always got to start somewhere, Hakeem, and you're not alone in the community. 1,000%. Like, no matter if you did one stream and then you waited 3 months and then you did another stream, like your community would still be there. The people that want to watch you stream, they're gonna come back, And so that is the best part. I agree. It's what's best about being a content creator is you don't have to waste your time on the people that won't come back. You don't have to waste any breath on the people who don't enjoy your content or don't want back because you're just not it for them. It happens, but you have the people that you enjoy being around, and that's all you need.
All right. I think we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, go for it. Get me out of here.
This was amazing. I feel like we covered so much, and you've given such good advice to everybody. So not only did we learn about you as a streamer, but also like what kind of person you are on the inside to give out great advice for people. Like that was like, I think Dibs is on another level right now. He definitely learned something tonight, and I feel like a lot of the chat learned something tonight about streaming, about just mental health was a big topic we didn't even expect to talk about that, and it was an amazing topic to talk about.
I'm gonna have to find out how to write this up on YouTube. This is a long one.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people need to hear.
Tony, I think you should also message Dibs on the side because he also has a son, a baby, a newborn. So you also have a young, toddler now. So I feel like your advice can also help him.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
I'm good.
No, I'm good.
I don't have a baby. I have technically an 8-year-old kid that my girlfriend has.
No, I will though. I will.
Skip the 7 years. Wicked's got 4 kids. And Wicked has 4 kids. Works.
I don't mean that reaction.
Wicked's on another level. He needs to stop fucking.
I think he's done. Maybe, I don't know.
Hopefully.
Jesus. Rob says no kids ever. What the fuck is Dexter, you ass? Whoa, he's my son. Okay.
What?
Listen.
I think Fauzi has a question.
Fur parents aren't really parents.
Fauzi.
All right.
Oh, Fauzi.
Fauzi.
Fauzi. Oh, Fauzi. Okay, yeah.
Wait, he asked in your chat?
What does he think about streaming for depression and stuff? And does he think it would help with it? Now, see, Fauzi, we covered this a little bit earlier.
I can kind of like mildly go over it. In just like a really short, like condensed version, like, man, I don't know.
Yeah.
Streaming,
No, yeah, she'll cover it for you.
Yeah, streaming with like anxiety and depression is very difficult, and I think the hardest part is finding a reason and in a way to get motivated to stream with that. The easiest way that I've found is to rely on my friends to be there with me to stream, because it gives me a reason to laugh and be happy and enjoy myself. But also, like on another part of it, be upfront and honest with your viewers, because they're gonna know if you're not doing okay. It's in your face. It's in there. It's in the content that you put out. You end up projecting a part of yourself that you just don't like. So I stated earlier previously that I've gone on and I've done a stream before. It was like 30 minutes, and I it was just me talking about what's going on in my life, and I was bawling my eyes out because I was sad and I had stuff going on, with me, and I have stuff going on, and I was not streaming, and it's like it's difficult to just put out a tweet and be like, hey, I'm going through some stuff, like I'll be right back, because you feel like you owe your viewers more. Like you want to give them to kind of understand exactly what's going on, because it makes it a little bit easier for you to step back when your fans know, or like your fans. Wow, your fans, you're famous. Oh my god. Your viewers know about you, so let them in to what you're actually feeling, and they will come back and they'll respect you, and it'll be a lot easier for you to step away and get the relaxation that you need to kind of recharge.
Yeah, love that.
Boom.
But it's hard for me to trust people because I've been hurt and let down so much. This
bet.
But see, my advice for that is they don't matter. To me, in my opinion, you just say that's in the past. I'm moving forward. There's better people out there. Not everyone can suck as bad as them. Or maybe they will, but it's up to you to just be strong for yourself and just say, I'm worth it. I'm going to find people that care about me. I'm going to keep going. Don't let your past harm your future, because you live day by day. Be proud of who you are.
And the people that are in your channel that are there for you. Like there's people that consistently come back. There's people that you add to like VIP, or there's people that you think you are just like, man, this person has been there since the beginning. That's the person that you can lean on. It's because they're always going to be there. And I don't know if he's in the Avenger Friends or not. But it's the same thing with Avenger Friends, like these people may be strangers, but they're no stranger to the way that things happen, and the way that people have feelings, and the way that these feelings are. We are all feeling it. We all feel it some way or another. It might not be as strong as you're feeling it, or it might not be. It's an overwhelming sense. Everyone feels it. We all can relate. And that's what makes it easy for us to sit here and talk to you about it.
Yep. Perfect.
We all have a little bit of advice. We all have something to learn from it. That's why this is amazing. That's why these conversations are so helpful. Even if it's just a little bit, it goes a long way.
If you're not having a conversation about mental health, at least, then I feel like you are more harming yourself than anything. At least just having a conversation with yourself, trying to analyze where you're standing, because how can you help yourself? How can you grow and get back like from where you're at? Like how can you try to find the next step to being okay if you don't sit there and you can't figure out what's wrong? If you can't figure out what's wrong, how can you ask for help?
Fozzie says, tell Faye I might DM her at times if I need someone to talk to.
Absolutely. Like I said, my DMs are always open. I am on a do not disturb for my Discord, but that does not mean that I do not reply. I'm very responsive. I work remote from home, and I do nothing, and I don't leave my house.
Gee.
Well,
I ain't gonna lie.
I know.
I'm an extrovert and an introvert. Like Tony was saying about not going to the bar. I love going to the bars. Like I don't mind it, but like not all the time.
Yeah.
Like those days are gone.
Well, I don't mind going to the bar. As long as I'm with friends that I like to be with. You know what I mean? Like friends that don't like go there, get drunk, and then ride their motorcycles home. Like I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. Like I don't even legitimately. I'm not fine. Like none of my friends do anything anymore anyway. It's like we never go out.
Yeah.
Like when we do, there's always like one friend who gets so blitzed that it's just like, all right, it's not fun anymore. Like I'm not having fun. I'm like a house mom anyway. So it's like I'm gonna end up taking care of you whether I'm at my home out in the world. Nice. So like I would rather stay home and take care of myself than take care of someone else.
Bet.
Bot says, can I just say Faye made me tear up. All good things, but for real, I love you, Faye. We all love you. Don't hesitate to message me if you need anything. And then Ray says, Faye is one of the most helpful people ever. She's amazing.
Oh my God, guys, I don't deserve this.
Everybody go follow FeyGameplay.
Thank you so much.
Actually, can we get a shout out for Faye? Guys,
do a shout out for FeyGameplay.
Definitely
trying to get her to 700 followers. Hopefully we cut that in half tonight.
Yes.
What she was getting to. Everybody go follow this girl.
Because you deserve the love. This is not just like, well, I'm ripping that contract, all right? The contract is ripped up.
Yeah, the contract got ripped up 5 minutes into the podcast.
She isn't. Yeah, Spud says, Faye, you're honestly an incredible person, and we cannot agree more. Like, like again, me and Tony getting to know you even more tonight, and thank you for for being on this podcast. It was our longest one ever, 3 hours going on, and time flew by.
Mm-hmm.
This was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I know.
I want to thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
Of
Like, I'm
course.
glad to fill in. Offer some wise words from just a girl who's consistently going through it. This whole year, man, it's been a ride, and it's not been the greatest. And when I tell you guys that I understand, like, I 1,000% understand. And so don't ever hesitate to DM me or speak to me in Gen Chat or try to get me in anybody's stream. Like, you can DM me on Twitch, you can DM me on Discord, on Twitter, anything, you know, like, I'm available on all platforms if you want to talk. And I'll always attempt to give my best advice, my best objective, like, third party advice. And you could take it or leave it. You know, that's the beauty of advice, is it's my opinion. It's what I've just experienced. It's not anything you have to take, but it's there, you know, it's there for you to, you know, kind of just understand yourself a little bit more, you know?
Yeah.
So at the end of the podcast, I just want to give another shout out to Faye. Make sure you guys go follow her. Part of Avenger Friends. She's amazing. During this podcast as well, by the way, I was able to pull Parzival81 into Avenger Friends. He's a new member as well.
Awesome.
He's
Welcome.
Yeah, he's super supportive as well. I guess Fozzie's a part of Avenger Friends now too.
Yeah,
so
Fozzie's in there.
So we're a great group of people. Like, all you guys here, you already know who Avenger Friends are. If you don't, DM me if you guys want a community who is very supportive and very loving and helpful and whatnot. Because that's what we're all about, you know. And
Fozzie's been there for months. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
Good.
But everybody, all three of us up here, our DMs are open. Don't ever forget that. You know, like I said, like, no matter what any one of the three of us are going through, we put it aside and we'll take care of you. We take care of you and make time for that. So
it helps. It helps me to help others, like, 1,000%, because it takes my mind off of it. You know, it takes my mind off of what I'm, you know, running around and spiraling in my brain. It allows me to focus on someone else's issues.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. And it always feels good to help. Like, even like, just like you said, when you have your own issues going, it's easier to worry about someone else than your own, than yourself. But just always know that you do deserve to feel good about you. You know, like, everyone is worth it, and it's gonna take time, and you'll feel worth it to yourself.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So, like, coming from someone who preaches positivity to you guys going through it, like, you guys are definitely worth it, and I know you guys know that.
You're valid, you're accepted, and you're loved.
Exactly.
1,000%. And we would tell you that if you were not an Avenger Friends, if you were an Avenger Friends, we are strangers, but everybody in the world has a reason for being here, and you are accepted and loved. Just know that.
You're in this stream for a reason. You're in our streams, you're in this chat. Something brought you guys here to hear this, and I believe everything happens for a reason.
All right, guys. So with that being said, we're gonna be having a short intermission. I think we're gonna start back up. What Gears?
Gears of War.
Okay, so we're gonna be getting back.
We're not ending.
We're not ending. Don't get that wrong. Me and Slev are not ending.
I could keep going with this.
Yeah.
Keep talking forever.
I'm glad. I'm happy that I was able to, you know, just offer a little bit of information, a little bit of advice. Thank you guys so much for having me. Like, I'm legitimately,
tell the chat.
I'm honored.
Tell your chat what you have coming up.
Weird right now. I just figured this out. No, all right, I feel good now.
So, for those of you who don't know, I'm FeyGameplay. Have just recently become a streamer. I do not stream a lot, but when I do, you can catch me at online on FeyGameplay for Twitch. I will be doing a 24-hour stream on the 12th through the 13th, but you might be able to catch me live a little bit before then, but you'll absolutely be able to catch me there. We're going to do a follower goal then, but I don't know if it's going to be needed for the whole one, so we might have a different goal as well. So definitely tune in if you want. Like I said, I'm super trash at self-promotion, and but I
for you.
but just know that if ever you feel down, once every month you will find me online for 24 hours given some sort of, you know, gameplay, talking, whatever, fun. So definitely hit me up. And like the boys have said, my DMs are open. So absolutely feel free to message me if you guys ever need to talk.
Heck yeah.
Perfect. So we're going to have a quick intermission, guys. I appreciate everybody out here being here, talking, chatting, asking questions, being involved.
so
You guys are
much.
amazing.
Thank you.
For real.
FeyBae.
Like, FeyBae.
FeyBae.
I want to give another thank you to Faye for being here, jumping in last minute, like making time for us and really like making this show the best it can be for you guys.
Yeah.
And I got a comment real quick that's been sticking in my mind from Dueling Ogres a while ago. This was like a couple hours ago. He goes, "All right, I got to go back to working on stuff for this shitty podcast." Wait, time out. That's way better than mine for some reason.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Oh my god. Dueling has his own podcast
Yep.
and he has his own command in my chat for it.
We'll
yeah.
we're gonna have him on hopefully.
Yes, I would love
the next podcast we have, hopefully we have Dueling Ogres. So that's gonna be another episode. He's the king of podcasts, but that's what he said. He said, "I'm gonna go work on the stuff that I need to make for this shitty podcast that somehow is better than mine."
Well, we are gonna have. You want to tell him what he's making?
All right, so guys, no, I'll let you do that. I'll give you I'll give you that.
He's making, guys. You know how we have the starting screen. He's making a Brew Boys starting screen. So it adds a little extra to what we are in the podcast, and it's just we're gonna keep building. We're gonna keep building the podcast, and anyone that's on it is going down history as being a part of the show. So Faye's part of that history, and I it's an honor. It's an honor to have her. So,
It's an honor to be here. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Oh, also, we're gonna have a transition too. Did you tell them about the transition?
The transition. You can tell about that.
Oh, you want to? All right. So we're
Is it
gonna
be
have
clinking beverages.
How'd you know?
Wow. Yeah.
Really?
Actually, I didn't know. That seems on brand.
Wow.
Fozzie keeps yelling at me to tell you that he loves your tats. By the way.
Oh, thank you.
He's like, Tony, tell her, wow, Tony. Ah! Okay, all right, anyways.
Thank you very much.
But the transition we're going to have is when we go from the starting screen that we have to the cameras, the transition is going to be two glasses coming across, clinking, like rolling in, clinking, and then either coming at the screen, and then when it comes up, you're going to see the camera, or it's going to pull aside, it's going to show the logo. When it comes up, the logo is going to fade in, and then the camera's going to come in.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds really awesome.
Fun stuff.
So we got some good stuff coming for the podcast as well, like effects and all that, and maybe down the road some really nice overlays, for the screen that you see here. So every time we have a new person on, actually we just started with Iron Man Gaming, but we like to put the person's logo or whatever they have above them, to give them like a little bit more of like a viewing. Like we'll always have our Brew Boys below in the middle there, but FeyGameplay's here. We had Iron Man's logo above him the last time, so whenever you're on the podcast, you're gonna send us that thing. We're gonna put it on and we're gonna make it look nice.
Yes, sir.
So with that being said, guys, if you guys got anything else to send them off, so send us off.
I'm all good.
You want me to send it? All right, guys.
Send them off.
Just so you guys know, we will not be doing the podcast for the next 2 Fridays. We'll be keeping you guys updated on Twitter, and in our own Discords and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you again, Faye, for being a part of this. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So we're looking forward to your 24-hour stream. It's gonna be amazing. So thank you, everyone. Stick around. We're gonna be playing Gears. We're gonna take a 5-minute intermission. I gotta go pee too. I've been holding it as long as Tony. He ran away.
I had to, dude. I was about ready to pee myself. It was starting to drip out and shit. Like,
I might not be drinking beer, but I went through 2 large iced coffees. All right.
she's
Oh my
gonna be up
goodness.
all fucking night.
That's why I'm the brew boy. That's what it is. I got the coffee. He's got the beer.
I went through 7 beers.
Jesus. All right. All right, guys. Yeah.
So guys,
Again,
like
Faye,
you said,
Thank you.
yeah, thank you so much for being here. Last
Can we
minute.
get one last shout out for Faye, please?
One last shout out for Faye.
Oh my
Let's do
God.
it. It's happening.
We gotta
Do
get it. We
again,
gotta get her to
Jack.
700.
Hell yeah, Matt.
But
What's gonna happen?
But we're gonna end this here. We're gonna take a 5-minute intermission, then we're gonna start back up with some Gears. Actually, Slev Sin wanted me to watch a compilation of scary paranormal shit.
Oh, that's fun.
So I don't know if you want me to send you the link too, and you have some fun with that, or
Yeah. So when we come back, we'll set that up.
yeah, okay. So
fun.
go through. So she said there's a lot of stuff on there that's gonna make me shit myself. So
How long is it?
I don't know. She didn't say.
All right.
But
Okay.
with that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for being here for the podcast. Hang around, hang out, listen to the music. We'll be back in about 5 minutes with some scary stuff first. And then I'm going to be back, and then some Gears 5. We're going to play some games. All right, guys. So we love you guys so much. We really do. Really appreciate it. So we'd appreciate it more if you hang out a little bit more.
Of course.
Do it.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Be back. Love you, Faye.
Love you guys. Love you.